je cale guitare entre mes dents. Bah ouais, je sors la bec.
The DKRTR 24 Grand Finale is here, and where better to hold it than at our home track. In the intense long wall configuration with 8 zones and 3 walls, get ready for some serious action. The winner of round 4 will take us through this epic configuration.
entre mes dents. Bah ouais, je sors la bec.
The DKRTR 24 Grand Finale is here. And where better to hold it than at our home track? In the intense long wall configuration with 8 zones and 3 walls, get ready for some serious action. The winner of round 4 will take us through this epic configuration.
entre mes dents. Bah ouais, je sors la bec.
The Dkrtr 24 Grand Finale is here. And where better to hold it than at our home track? In the intense long wall configuration with 8 zones and 3 walls, get ready for some serious action. The winner of round 4 will take us through this epic configuration.
Hello and welcome back to DKRTR Pro. We got an off-season race today, top 32. My name is Red. I'm going to be joining you here for a solo cast in this one. So, welcome back everybody. How are you all doing today? Let me know how it's going in the chat as well, of course. And yeah, we're going to be hopping into the top 32 shortly. Let me do this real quick. There we go. Yeah. So, what do we have here for the top 32 right now? We're going to be starting things off here with our number 1 qualifier, Ahmed Al-Hamadi, with an insane run yesterday. Managed to get 98 points. Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch that run once again a bit later as well. I mean, that was just, yeah, left both me and Ed speechless. Nothing else really to say about that one, but yeah, he's going to be going up against Bartosz Korgon from Poland, our 32nd qualifier. Still a 77-point run from our 32nd spot, and well, looks like it is very close in terms of the lower standings in the top 32. Even though, of course, he is 32nd. No, they're warming up. They're warming up right now. Yeah, I was confused for a second there as well because I didn't see anybody else on the starting line. But yeah. Either way, of course, our 32nd qualifier, Bartosz, with a 77-point run. I've mentioned this before in our street season. Of course, once you get to those 70-point runs, you start to see way more consistency. And, well, there's a lot of players, a lot of drivers who don't really do as well maybe in the qualifying and don't score as high in the qualifying runs, but if you get up to those high 70-point runs, usually you can get to see some really good and consistent tandems from the drivers as well. There are Evos in the top 32. Yeah, we have multiple Evos participating. Our first 90-point run actually was by an Evo 10 driver yesterday. So yeah, we got a few of those. I hope the liveries are going to be fixed for this one as well, so that we can see those as well. And yeah, of course, there was also a bit of messages back and forth about those in the chat. So for anybody who's confused, if your livery is not showing up, just look at the chats. Remember to read those, and remember to follow the rules carefully for submitting the liveries. Oh yeah, those were definitely some good ones. All right, looks like we're going to be getting into the first battle already. Bartosz Korgon versus Ahmed Al-Hamadi. Ahmed Al-Hamadi in the lead, Bartosz in the chase, and off the line we go for the first battle of the top 32 right now. Let's get it started here. Insane angle here on the lead from Ahmed. Bartosz following though very close in that Evo. So far so good. Way more angle from Ahmed in the lead, but still Bartosz staying right there in the pocket as well. Look at that, just hugging the wall here on outside zone 5 as well. And there we go. I mean, yeah, just look at Ahmed's run. Very similar to his qualifying runs, just sets the angle and forgets it. Bartosz right there with a little bit of wavering there in that chase, but still manages to keep the proximity up and stays in the pocket as well. So great job by both of our drivers to start things off right here. And yeah, look at the replay. I mean, that angle here from Ahmed to start things off. See, he just goes right to angle and does not waver at all. Just sets it and forgets it. But look at that, Bartosz still doesn't let him run away with it, managed to stay there in the pocket. A few small wavers here and there, a few corrections from the chase driver. Of course, way more difficult to stay consistent in terms of the angle in the chase, since you do want to have that proximity as well, but a good job as well from Bartosz. So now we're going to be swapping sides. Ahmed's going to be in the chase, Bartosz in the lead. I'm very excited to see Ahmed's chases as well, because his leads are just immaculate. And here we go for the second run right now. Bartosz gonna be leading and initiating into the first corner, and look at that, Ahmed right on his door right from the start of the lap. Bumper to bumper transition as well, and getting right into that pocket, mimicking the angle perfectly, and Bartosz hitting all the zones right now as well. Great job on the outside zone 5, and some sparks are flying there from Bartosz's car now for outside zone 6, and here is the long wall right now. Ahmed a bit further back at the start of the long wall, but still managed to reel him in, managed to get that proximity back once again as well, and still some sparks flying from Bartosz's car. Super low setup from him on the Evo right there. So yeah, look at the replay. The angle mimicking from Ahmed in the chase, very good. And Bartosz hitting the inside clip very well there as well, getting all of the zones. So great job from Bartosz in the lead. You can see a lot more smoother than in the chase, but I would have to say that Ahmed had less corrections in the chase run. But as you can see right here, yeah, the last outside zone, what I said before, didn't have the proximity at the start, but still flames, not sparks. Okay. But yeah, in the last zone, he was a bit further back at the start of it than Bartosz was, but I would say overall way smoother of a run in the chase from Ahmed, but still a great job for Bartosz as well. So let's wait and see what the judge's decision is going to be here for the first battle of our top 32 right now. So what do you guys think about that one? I mean, yeah, great runs by both of our drivers. I would say great way to start things off here as well. And looks like we have our scores. So slide them left for Ahmed, slide them right for Bartosz, and it's going to be unanimous for Ahmed Al-Hamadi, moving on to the top 16. So thank you, Bartosz, for participating. Great runs from you, but unfortunately, if you have to go up against the driver of Ahmed's caliber, well, it is going to be very difficult to win that battle, very difficult to move on. I saw basically no corrections from from Ahmed in either the lead or the chase. So yeah, that's our first run concluded right there. So let me pull up. I have the brackets for myself somewhere here as well. Oh, there we go. We have our next drivers up on the line already. Yeah, that's going to be Kevin Hostin versus Simon Sandman. So Kevin in the lead, Simon in the chase. We got a BMW, or well, not a BMW, a Shelby versus a, BMW versus a Shelby run right now. And off the line we go already. So Kevin in the lead, a great initiation. And look at that, Simon with a lot of angle, starting off with more angle than Kevin. But still managing to stay right there in the pocket as well. Great job on the proximity. Kevin hitting all of the zones right now as well, slowing down now for outside zone 5. Great and smooth runs by both of our drivers here so far. And look at that bumper in the wall as well on outside zone 6. And now for the last wall ride, a bit of left foot brake there from Kevin in the lead. And Simon is not letting him get away with it at all, just staying in the pocket the whole time. So look at this initiation right there in the chase. Simon, I think he had more angle for just a little bit, but then managed to ease out on it just a bit and staying right where he has to be on that one. So yeah, yet again, great job by both the drivers, super smooth, very nice and consistent. So not seeing as many corrections from our chase driver on this one. And yeah, you can see there in the last outside zone, he just reeling him in the chase, getting closer and closer to that door as well. So moving on, we got the second run coming in right now. And now it's going to be Simon in the lead with that Shelby, initiating with a lot of angle. Kevin choking up just a bit on that initiation, but managed to save it and get in the pocket as well. Great job on the inside clip by both of our drivers. And look at that. Same time transitions, very smooth, very consistent, but it is looking like Simon in the lead is running away with it just a bit. Kevin not being able to get as close as Simon was. And here as well, Kevin just a bit too much angled start of that zone, but managed to catch him by the end of the long wall ride as well. So yeah, that was, I would say, way better of a chase in my opinion from Simon in terms of proximity. You could see right here from the start already just falling back a bit. Kevin could not quite catch him in a lot of these zones, and not as good on the angle matching as well from what I saw. So yeah, great runs by Simon here in that Shelby. Kevin wasn't as close, but he was more consistent. Yeah, I would say that he didn't have as many corrections until the last zone. Well, alright, enough about that. The scores are already in, and our driver who's going to be moving on is going to be Simon Sandman. So congratulations to Simon, going to be seeing him in the top 16. But yeah, I mean, the proximity right there from Simon was super good in the chase run. So he managed to stay on the door the whole time. So there we go, 2 runs are over already. Up next, it's going to be Emilis Valeika versus Edvinas Murauskas. So it's going to be 2 Lithuanian drivers going up against each other, if I see that correctly. And that's going to be our 8th versus our 17th qualifiers. Simon 17th, Emilis qualifying 8th. And oh, I see that PS13 right there. Can't wait to see the aggression on that one. And there we go, off the line that they are already going. But looks like in the chase, Edvinas just didn't start in time. And well, it's going to be Emilis running away with it, getting the inside clip as well. Nice, smooth and consistent in that lead. Look at the angle there on outside zone 4, and Edwin is trying to catch him, goes off course with 2 wheels as well. Unfortunate for Edvinas in the chase on this one. Yeah, I don't know, just didn't see the green light or something, not too sure what happened there, so we're gonna see the replay as well. And yeah, I mean, just falling very far behind right from the start, very unfortunate. But of course, remember, there's 2 runs, anything could happen here in the second run as well. All that Emilis has to do in the chase now is just put down a consistent run, you know, not let him run away with it and just stay there. Doesn't even really have to be in the pocket, but just has to stay somewhat close, and that should be a free top 16 for him right there. But yeah, very unfortunate, you know, in that PS13. Really liked his qualifying run, had a lot of aggression and a lot of speed in that one, so very unfortunate to see him not getting a proper chase in his first battle right here. Alright, so getting ready for the second run right now. Edvinas in the lead, Emilis in the chase. 4 Power Team versus RTW. Let's get it started right here, and let's see if that is going to be the win here for Emilis in the lead. Yeah, looks like Edwin is having some trouble with the starting lights, but we are off the line right now, and look at that, a lot of angle from both of the drivers on the initiation, and Emilis not letting him get away with it at all. Staying right in the pocket, not driving safe whatsoever. Look at that proximity. He could just put in a safe run and just get that free top 16 for himself, but He does not want to leave it up to the judges' hands, and gets a great chase going. Look at the bumper-to-bumper transition as well, and gets right onto his door on the last outside zone. And there we go. That's going to be a wall tap from Edvinas to finish off that run as well. And yeah, I honestly expected a bit of a safer run here in the chase, but yeah, no, he just does not want to leave anything up to chance. Look at that. Great chase run. Great chase run by Emilis. Edvinas, of course, good lead as well. Unfortunately, had that wall tap there at the end, upsetting the angle and upsetting the car a bit too much. But yeah, I think we all know what the result is going to be on this one. Unfortunately, guys, remember, check whether those starting lights are working for you before the tourney starts. So, waiting for the judge's decision. There it is, and I'm pretty sure we all know which way this one's going. It's going to be Emilis Valeka moving on to the top 16. Congratulations, Edvinas. Of course, thank you for participating. I want to see more of that PS13 in the upcoming ones, though. So hope to see you joining once again as well. All right. So the next battle, the last battle for Group A, Artur Kula versus Bartek Maciej. That's going to be the 9th qualifier versus the 24th, so getting closer and closer. The 24th qualifier, an 81-point run right there, so very close in terms of the points, 88 and 81 points. So should be a very close battle here between the Corvette and the BMW, and there we go. Looks like, oh, once again, the lead driver on the first run running away with it, yet again. So great line by Artur in the chase, and oh, is that going to be a restart? Looks like we are getting a restart on this one. Alright, not too sure what happened on that one. Difficult to follow everything when commentating solo, but yeah, it is very interesting. A lot of things to follow at the same time. But looks like we're going to be getting a restart for this one. Yeah, we could see on the initiation a lot of angle there from the Corvette, so going to be difficult for Bartek in the chase to manage to follow that up if he managed to do the same thing in the other run as well. Emilis is flashing the lights. Oh, about the high beams. Well, alright, remember, if there is something that that you want to protest in terms of anything bad happening, or you not liking the well, having something to say about the calls that were made, please remember to protest right away after the decision is made. You have to do it in the in-game chat, and you have to immediately let them know what your reason for protest is, because of course our judges are trying to keep things fair, and they're trying to, of course, keep it fair for everybody, and we all want to see some good tandems here. So if there's anything that you would like to protest, remember, right after the battle, you have to get the message in the chat. But right now we're going to be restarting. Oh, and looks like they were in the wrong lines. Alright, so it's going to be the BMW in the lead right now, so initiating, and oh, look at that, too much angle from the Corvette in the chase, and he chokes up and straightens out, and the BMW does as well. Well then, I thought for a second that was going to be another restart, but yeah, looks like that's going to be an incomplete from both of our drivers on the first run. The chase driver just getting way too close on the initiation, and then the lead just straightening up. That's yeah, that's an interesting battle right there. Wait a minute, was that both of the battles already? Okay, I'm a bit confused on this one, because yeah, both of them are waiting there for the judging call to be made. Man, okay, this one's a bit confusing. So both of them straightened out on the second one, but of course the lead driver didn't make it further into the track. So not really too sure how that is decided, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Alright guys, so what do you think so far about the battles? Had some really good ones here so far already. Of course, a few, you know, leaving a bit more to be desired, but unfortunately, of course, that is just the way it goes with drifting, and well, especially with tandems. I mean, the runs are only as long as they are, you know, not a lot of time to mess up in the runs at all. Gonna be looking at another replay here, slowing it down a bit more, and oh, maybe they're checking if he was on the blue line there as well. I see one of the wheels maybe over the line at the start. I wonder what they're looking at. Were they just looking at the starting lights maybe? Not too sure, but the judges are thinking about what to do. Yeah, I would really like to see it one more time, you know. I would like to see a clean battle between these two guys. Those two runs, they were very unique, let's put it that way. But yeah, I mean, you saw from the first one, man, that initiation by the Corvette, that was very aggressive. So I do want to see... Yeah, there are no wheels over the line from what I saw as well, personally. Oh, and there we go. Looks like they are going up to the starting line from the pits. So it's going to be fresh, new tires. And it's going to be Artur Kula in the lead, Bartek Maje in the chase. And we're going to be seeing some more runs from these guys right here. So, yep, there it is. One more time. Exactly what we all want to see. Let's hope that it's going to be nice and clean runs on this one. Because, man, that last one, I don't know about you guys, but that left me really confused. So, off the line we go. There we go. Artur in the Corvette in the lead. Let's see if he's going to do a very aggressive initiation on this one as well. And look at the angle yet again. But this time he overcooks it just a bit and goes into the wall. And goes into the grandstands. With that one, alright. Yeah, let's look at the replay. I want to see that once again. Yeah, he overcooks it just a bit, goes right into the grass and loses all grip. So yeah, yesterday me and Ed talked about that just a bit. The first corner, very difficult for this track, very difficult indeed. If you just overcook it just a bit, you're gonna lose all of your grip, and it's very easy to just go right into the wall on that one. Pure chaos. Yeah, I agree with you, Ed. This battle is something else. So, we've already seen 3 runs from these guys so far. So let's see what we're going to be getting for the 4th run, because man, I don't even know what to expect up next. Let's see, maybe something interesting is going to happen on this one again, and we're going to be getting another one more time. So right now it's just Bartek on the starting line. Alright, waiting for Artur to show up to the starting line now as well. And man, yeah, these are some runs that, I'll be honest, I did not expect to see right here. And looks like it's just going to be Bartek off the line for this one. Artur was there in the background going to the starting line, but yep, just going to be Bartek starting off a solo run, by run right now it seems. And look at that, great outside zone 1, hits the outside zone 2 and the inside clip as well. Beautiful line, great angle, nice and smooth, getting all of the zones into outside zone 5 as well. A very good by run here by Bartek on this one. Now for the last wall ride, getting into the zone very nicely, and look at that, both wheels into the zone, bumper is right there on the wall. That was a great run, and that's going to be the win for Bartek on the battle here between Artur and Bartek. Yeah, that was a confusing one. That was a confusing one. Alright, so there we go. That's going to be all for Group A here on this one. So let's see, let me pull up the groups. So on the next one, it's gonna be Sim Vort. Yeah, well, there we go. We can already see Ahmed Al Hamadi moving on to the top 16, gonna be going up against Simon Sandman, and then Emilis Valleika gonna be going up against Bartek Maje right there in the top 16. So yeah, for our next group, Group B, the first battle we're going to be seeing is going to be Sim Vort versus Mati Slatis. So, if I remember correctly, yeah, that's our only Latvian driver who made it into the top 32. And man, does he have a battle up right here already in the top 32. Sim Vort putting down a 92-point run. If I remember correctly, that was right towards the end of the qualifying as well. So that's going to be a really tough one for him. Mati Slat is qualifying 29th, so with a 78-point run. quite a bit lower in terms of the points there, but I mean, we've all seen plenty of runs from Matis if you have been watching the previous seasons here, and he's definitely a driver to look out for. But yeah, Seamford, I mean, the run he had in qualifying was just amazing as well with those 92 points. Now, of course, up next after that's going to be Ahmed also Baka versus Chase Cronin, Olaf Tagakula versus Vova Sezonov, Hugo Heuser versus Jan Schor. So some great battles coming up here. I mean, pretty much all of these battles, you know. The 32nd spot being at 77 points. Of course, in some other tourneys like DCGP, you know, people are used to, well, at the very least, you know, 90 plus points needed for qualifying. And this one, definitely not having as many people participate, but I would say still, as I said before, you know, if you can get those high 70s, low 80s, look, you are a driver to look out for in the tandems. It's all about the tandems after you qualify. Any of these drivers could take each other out, because I would say this is a very close grid of drivers that we have coming up right now. And we can see the semaphore going up to its spot as well. And our drivers from Group B warming up right now, getting ready, getting comfortable in the server, checking out the grip in the server if there's maybe some differences in the grip. And let's see, is that still just practice? Yeah, 3 drivers going up to the starting line, still just practicing for this one. There we go, we got some Hugo fans in the chat as well. A few battles before he is going up. But great to see some support for our drivers. So what do you guys think? From the first few battles, do we have any fans of any of the other drivers here as well? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Ooh, yes. Oh yeah, and also on the first in the first group, when we saw the Evo 10, by the way, this time we did see a livery on it. So nice to see that the liveries are showing up now as well. Great addition, as always. And we have a Mark IV in the Supra. In this group. Mark IV, and that is the Chaser as well, alright? Yes, it is. Perfect. We got some great cars here in this one. I talked about it yesterday already. A nice variety of cars in this pack. A nice variety of cars participating here in this one as well. So let's wait and see, giving the drivers some time to get comfortable with the grip levels on this server. Sometimes between the practice servers and the server for comp, the grip levels are just a bit different. You know how it is with the Assetto servers. Sometimes they just don't wanna work the same, and it is a bit difficult to get those figured out. But still, as always, of course, a shout out to all of our organizers here, you know, helping out both with the servers and with the tourney itself. And yeah, there we go, already a message in the chat, was about to get to that as well. Don't forget to like the stream, don't forget to sub, check out the Sim to Real Life Drift series as well. A new episode was released recently, and there's going to be some good ones coming up in the future as well. Don't forget to check out all the other socials. Don't forget to check out all the other socials, and of course, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. The link should now be updated, should be working. Hop in the Discord and join our upcoming rounds as well. And there we go, seems like it is back to pits. So it looks like we're going to be starting off our Group B right now. Seam Vort versus Mati Slots. This is going to be our first battle. 4th qualifier versus the 29th qualifier. So it was 92 points versus 78 points for Matis. Alright, it's going to be Seamford in the lead first. Mati Slots is in the chase. To the starting line already. And let's wait for that green light, and let's see if we can get a Latvian driver here in the top 16, or if it's going to be Seamford, the higher qualifier, moving on. So off the line we go two BMWs, and look at the angle here from Seam on the initiation. Great angle, great line as well, but Mati Slots is right there in the chase, getting very close here through outside zone 3. Look at the bumper-to-bumper transition as well now for outside zones 4 and 5. Great line by both drivers, good proximity as well, trying to get just a bit closer here towards the end from Matis. And look at that, another bumper-to-bumper transition and getting into that pocket right where he has to be. Great job by both of the drivers on the first run. Alright, so great stuff already on this one. Very good proximity from Matis in the chase. Oh, and looks like... yeah. I'm getting some info about what's going to be happening here. And we have a message in the chat from Armand Westmans. Had to be in work, so missed the competition on this one. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but of course, going to be seeing more of you definitely in the upcoming season as well. Oh, there we go, looking at the replay right now, so... Alright, so it looks like we're going to be getting a restart for this first run. Could I get a reason why as well? Restart? Alright, so looks like the lead was a bit late on the first one, so they're gonna have a restart on this one. Yeah, so it was a great run by Matis in the chase. Of course, Seam fourth, you know, in the lead, had a 92-point run in qualifying. You would expect no less from him on that run as well. But yeah, we're gonna be having a restart on the first run right now. So Matis is up to the line already. Seam is following. So Latvia versus Estonia battle right now. Yeah, that was a great run. Let's see if it can be replicated, because man, that was very well done by Matis in the chase. Had a very good line, good proximity, very similar in the angle. So off the line we go for the second run right now. Well, the rerun of the first run, and there it is. Great angle by Seam in the lead. Matis, oh, a bit checking up there on the first transition into outside zone 2, but now managing to catch up all the way through outside zone 4 right now, mimicking the angle, but in the terms of proximity, not quite as close as he was on the first run, although already reeling him in more and more. And yet again, there we go, another bumper-to-bumper transition, and gets right on his door towards the wall right there at the end as well. And yeah, unfortunately for Matis, a bit of a mistake there at the start, so let's check that one out again. So good angle there at the start, but then right before the transition he was just a bit too close, didn't leave enough space for Seam to transition, had to brake a bit too much and checked up, couldn't quite follow him through outside zones 2 and 3 unfortunately. So yeah, that's going to be a huge mistake from him right there. Seam is a great driver, and well, I don't know if we're going to be seeing an error like that from him. Unfortunate for Matis that the restart had to be there, because yeah, I agree with the chat. I mean, it was a great chase run by Matis on the first one, but of course anything could happen here. So it's time for the second run right now. Matis Slots in the lead, Seam Vort in the chase. Getting ready for this one. 3, 2, 1, and off the line we go. So let's see what Matis has in store for us now in the lead. Great angle on the initiation. Seam initiating a bit lower there on the track, but still keeping the proximity going. And look at that, getting right into the pocket as well now by outside zone 3. Both of them hitting the zones very well. Matis with great angle, and that was close to 90 degrees if I saw that correctly on that one. But still doesn't shake Seam at all. He stays right there now, a bit further back through outside zone 6, but managed to reel him in yet again on the wall ride. So yeah, a bit of proximity was left to be desired there by Seam in the chase towards the latter part of the run, but I would say overall, I mean, look at the start here. Very close, very consistent bumper to bumper on that one, but it might leave something in the judges' hands right there towards the end. Of course, not as big of a gap, in my opinion, here, but yeah, of course, still all up to the judges. Unfortunate with that first run for Matis, because man, that looked great. It was a very good chase by him. Yeah, couldn't quite pull it together for the rerun of that one, but right now it's all up to the judges. So let's wait and see what we got here. Alright, checking out the replay once again, so judges need some more time to rethink this one. Gonna be going back to the first run of Matis being in the chase. Maybe checking out if Seam was staying on angle for too long. Didn't seem like that to me, but the judges, looks like they need some more time to think of what decision they're gonna be making on this one. Yeah, he got very close there by then. You can see that, like, the tire is right on the door at the end of that first run. So looks like we're going to be getting a result sometime soon here, maybe. And the scorecard is right here. So slide him left for Seam, slide him right for Matis, who's going to be moving on to the top 16. Or is it going to be another one more time, maybe? And looks like it is going to be Seam for it, moving on to the top 16. So we had one vote for it one more time, so almost had it. Almost had it. So unfortunately for Matis, he's out. Our only Latvian driver representing in the top 32, or well, in the tandems at all. But already we got our next battle coming up. It's going to be Ahmed Al-Subaha versus Chase Cronin. So Kuwait versus USA, and looks like it's just going to be a Byron for Ahmed. Unfortunately, Chase Cronin not showing up for this one. So let's see a nice clean run from one of our Eagle team drivers who's joining us for this competition. A great entry. Yeah, look at the transition. I mean, Ed already talked about it yesterday. Eagle team has some amazing drivers, and we can see that from Ahmed right here as well. Great angle, great line, and a lot of commitment here on all of these zones. Look at that, setting himself up perfectly here for the last outside zone. And with the Byron, that is going to be Ahmed moving on to the top 16 right there as well. Unfortunately, Chase not showing up. I do wonder if there's a reason. Maybe somebody who knows Chase can write in the chat what's up, what's happening. Would be nice to know, because that is unfortunate. You know, we all want to see some good battles. Alright, so up next, though, it is, well, speaking of good battles, it's going to be Olaf Tagakula versus Vova Sezonov. So Olaf Tagakula, 5th qualifier, Vova Sezonov 28th, but I think we have all seen Vova Sezonov's runs in the past. Definitely not one to snooze on. This one could go either way. So off the line they go already. Olaf in the lead, Vova in the chase. And we are off. Look at that great angle from Olaf in the lead to start things off, but Vova getting in the pocket right away, mimicking the angle very well as well, and getting very close through outside zones 3 to outside zones 2, 3 now for outside zone 4. Big angle there by Olaf in the lead, but Vova is not letting him get away with it, staying right there in terms of proximity. And look at that in the pocket. Yeah, there you go, getting closer into the pocket as well in that chase. So great runs by both the drivers. Vova maybe not as close as what we have seen in some of the previous runs, but staying very consistent. Not really seeing too many corrections here in the lead from Olaf either, though. Very well done by both of the drivers. Now, if I was Olaf, I would be thinking that, you know, what I have to do here in this one, keep the smoothness of the lead run, but just get a bit more proximity, and I think that could get him the win. Like right here, he does get into the pocket, but it does take him a bit longer to get right there where, well, the judges want to see them. So yeah, swapping sides now. Vova in the lead, Olaf in the chase. And there they go off the line for our second run of this battle, and that's going to be Vova initiating with a lot of angle, Olaf with a bit less angle, but keeping the proximity right there. Bumper to bumper transitions, and look at that, great proximity from Olaf on this one, and yet another bumper to bumper transition, just staying right there, not letting him run away with it at all. Vova getting all of the zones now into outside zone 5, kissing the wall with the bumper. And here is the long wall ride, and yeah, look at Olaf getting closer a bit earlier, but not managing to get as close towards the end of the last outside zone. So very consistent from both of our drivers, and maybe a bit of a wall tap from Vova there on the wall ride as well, if I saw that correctly. So yeah, great runs. Look at the proximity, and at some points I would say Olaf in the chase even had more angle than Vova in the lead. So that was a great run by both of the drivers. If I had to guess, I would think that this is favoring Olaf a bit more, but can't really, of course, see all the angles like the judges can. Wait, yeah, Olaf is closer to the wall in the chase on the wall run. So, waiting for the judge's decision on this one. A Supra versus a BMW. Look at that. Turning his car around to show off that Drift Chat livery as well, huh? Oh, and there we go. In chat, we have Drift Chat for Olaf, Gleb voting for Vova, so it's a 50-50. Hey, maybe we can get one more time. Another battle between these guys would be great, I would say. Very consistent drivers, both did a good job in both the lead and the chase. And there we go, another look at the replay. Great angle from Olaf. Vova was taking just a bit more time to get to angle on that initiation, but looks like the decision has been made and it is unanimous. It is going to be Olaf Tagakula moving on to the top 16 on this one, so congratulations to you. Can't wait to see more of that in the top 16 as well. Alright, and now our last battle of Group B. It's going to be Hugo Hoyse versus Jan Schar. 12th versus the 21st qualifier. So let me check in the points. That should be very close. So 21st is 83 points, 12th is 85 points. So just a 2-point difference between these two drivers in terms of the qualifying scores. So this should be a very close one. Alright, and the light is green. And looks like our lead driver is not seeing the light here again. So guys, remember, make sure that those lights work. Remember that also, while you are practicing, you could also ask to see if the light is working, or well, if you just go up to the starting line, you can also check out if the light is working, because they usually are lighting them off there as well. I don't think that's gonna be a start. Yeah, that's gonna be a restart. Looks like one of the drivers pitted there. Guys, another reminder, of course, do not pit. Only pit after the result is announced, or if in chat you are told to pit. So, on this one, alright, looks like on this one it is going to be a bye run yet again. Unfortunate for Hugo. So waiting now for what is going to happen here. So already some interesting things happening here in the top 32, and from the battles that we did see, I mean, all the battles very close, and yep, there it is. Unfortunately for Hugo, that's going to be a bye run for Jan Schar in that chaser. Great to see a chaser moving on to the top 16. Personally, very happy about that. You know, no bias, but I mean, just look at that car. A nice, great livery as well for that one. Yeah, making his bye run right now, getting all of the zones. And, ooh, a bit too far out in that one. Yeah, hitting the wall there on outside zone 5 as well. Maybe a bit of nerves there, you know. But still managing to get himself the bye run here on this one. Gonna be moving on to the top 16. And there it is. That's the win for Jan Schar. And that's gonna be all she wrote for Group B. And there are our standings. So that's one side of the bracket done. So Simvort, Ahmed Al-Subaha, Olaf Tagakula and Jan Schar moving on to the top 16. And our next group, Group C, is going to be starting off with our second qualifier, which is, of course, Juanan Jorges versus David Zvolitsky, which is our 31st qualifier. So, of course, Juanan, one of our drivers who drove the last season in the street class as well, always liked seeing his runs. Very consistent and very good driver, but David with that 77-point run might be, of course, a contender as well. Qualifying from tandems is a lot different, you know, as I myself have only driven one tandem. I can tell you, I managed to qualify, but as soon as I got to the tandem, I messed up big time and just, yeah, the judges didn't even really have to think about the decision on the run that I had. So, you know, anything can happen, But I would say our drivers here all very good, well, a very good lineup we have right here. Looks like people in chat are asking what happened, but yeah. So there we go. We have a comment from Armand Westman is there as well. Alright, so I got the info on that one. So basically, on the first run, the lead driver didn't see the green light twice. He was told to go later on as well, but he didn't. He didn't see that. And then later on he pitted, which automatically made him lose the second run. So guys, just make sure the lights are working, do the prep beforehand as well. It's unfortunate to see that happen, you know, we all want to see some good tandems, but yeah guys, remember, you have to make sure that the lights work, you have to make sure that everything is proper and ready before the competition. If you're not sure, just in single player, just open up any map with the semaphore, and I think it was action key 1, was it? Just check it in the settings, what do you have binded for action keys, and just try using one of those to see if the light works for you. So yeah, it worked for his qualifying though. Well, unfortunately, yeah, not much that can be done about that. I mean, he had a few chances. Well, we did have a few drivers where in the qualifying they had to be told to go in chat as well. I don't remember off the top of my head if he was one of those drivers, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks. What else can you really say? What else can you say? So yeah, we got our next group in the server already. That is Group C, and getting ready, getting warmed up, and maybe we are getting started with Group C already. Now we got 3 drivers going up to the line. All right, got it. Ooh, I see another Mark IV Supra. Nice, nice, and an S15 as well. Great. Some good cars here in this one as well. Hello, hello, door breakers. Welcome. Alright guys, so what do you think about the battles so far? I think some very good ones that we've seen from here. Have we seen any upsets so far? I think it has been mostly just the higher seated drivers winning. Hold on a second. Yeah, from what I can see, not really too many upsets happening so far on this one, but we are going to be seeing some closer battles here on some of the upcoming ones as well. So in Group C, let's see, who was it? It is the closest battle in terms of the qualifying scores is going to be the second one between Piotr Czechovic and Abdul Rahman Al-Alawi. They were qualified 15th and 18th. So in terms of the points, that is, let's see, that's 85 and 83 points. So a 2-point difference for that one. But still, of course, a lot of the grid very close in terms of points. And is that a run? I do believe that is a run we're getting right now, starting the first run of Group C. That's going to be Juanan in the lead. A great initiation, and look at that in the chase. David following him right there as well, not letting him run away with it at all. Great angle from both of the drivers. Juanan getting into the zones. A lot of angle there for outside zone 5, but still managed to keep it below the 90 degrees there. And look at that, the bumper-to-bumper transition in the chase and getting right on his door from the start of the last zone. Great job by both of the drivers. David in the chase, Amazing job there on that last zone as well. There we go, got the drivers' names on the screen as well for all of you right now. So let's look at the replay. Yeah, a bit of a gap starting up at the start, but still David catching up to him immediately here from the second zone already. So a bit of a mess up there at the start, but managed to fix that error right away and get right into that pocket. And look at that, he wasn't even really losing angle or anything to get back into the proper spot there as well. And this last zone, great job in the chase. A bit of a vault up there from Juanan, if I saw that correctly, but not really upsetting the car too much. And there we go. That was a great first run by both of the drivers. So let's see what Juanan is going to be doing in the chase, because man, David just left his tire marks on his door right there. So off the line we go. That's going to be David in the lead right now, initiating with a lot of angle. Juanan adding more angle in the chase, but falls back just a bit too much. Still managed to catch him by the outside zone too as well. So a very similar start of the runs, but man, Juanan staying way closer on those transitions. Looks like it's bumper to bumper every single time. Very, very similar runs overall, I would say. But Juanan managing to stay just a bit closer on the transitions and gets right into the zone as well as soon as the zone starts on the wall ride. And yeah, very close runs. So let's see the start of the run here as well. Seems like Juanan added just a bit too much angle, but managed to catch him right away, making up for that error. So yeah, start of the run very similar in terms of the errors that both the drivers made, in terms of them not being able to stay on the door right away, but that did not shake either of them at all, managing to get right back in there. And yeah, at the end here, I would say David had a better start of the wall ride there in the chase, but Juanan managing to reel him in towards the end of the zone as well. Very, very comparable runs. I do wonder if we're going to be seeing our first upset here, or maybe a one more time. If I had to guess, you know, I would not be able to. I personally would say that this is just a one more time. This was super close. So taking a look at the first run right now as well. Yeah, looks like Juanan just ran away with it. David didn't really make any mistakes on the initiation. He just couldn't quite keep up. Maybe he was a bit slow of the starting of the start right there. So let's see. Can we spot any big differences between the two runs? Right there, I would say transitioning between zones 5 and 6. Maybe a bit more of a gap from David, but there at the end, oh, maybe it wasn't Juanan hitting the wall. Maybe it was David making some contact in the chase as well. Didn't quite see that before, but we have the results in. So slide them left for Juanan, slide them right for David, and moving on to the top 16, it's gonna be Juanan Jorge's, our number 2 qualifier. So congratulations to Juanan. Great runs by both the drivers though. Was very good in the chase from David right there. The last zone looked amazing. So up next it's gonna be Piotr Czechovic versus Abdul Rahman Al-Alawi. So that is a very close battle in terms of the points that both of these drivers had in the qualifying. 15 points and 18 points respectively, or not points, excuse me, 15th spot and the 18th spot respectively. Yeah, if 15 and 18 points qualified, in fact, if anybody managed to put a 15-point run on the board, that would be a very unique achievement. I wonder what the lowest scored run ever has been in drifting. I have seen some 30s, but I don't really think I've seen anything in the 20s or lower, now that I think about it. Well, okay, if we're not counting zeros. Of course, 0 is the lowest, right? But for a scored run, you know? What's the lowest that you guys have seen in a competition? Because I don't think I've ever seen anything below 30. I have seen some 30s. Usually that happens, you know, more in real life events, like smaller ones, you know. A 17, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, I have never seen in FDC. Oh, really? Huh. Alright, well, there we go. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I participated in this one, and if I managed to get a scored run on the board, you know, I might have been able to beat that score, but not more than that, you know, I gotta be honest with you. Alright guys, for all of our drivers, make sure to turn off Weather FX as well, by the way, just so that stuff goes smooth and so that you can properly see the semaphore as well. Just remember to turn that off in your settings. My fan is on. Is there a background noise? Let me know if there's any issues with my mic, because I myself have the thingy on where I can hear it. Oh really? Ooh. That's interesting. Alright, well, since nothing much is happening right now, let me see if I can try and fix that. That ain't me. I just rewinded the recording a bit. I don't know, I can't really hear any other background noise from me. Gotta be honest with you. And there we go, we got the semaphore pulling up to the starting line. So looks like we might be continuing soon. And I see one of the drivers pulling up as well in that Nissan S15. So, are we going to be seeing a Byron or are we going to be seeing some tandems here? I am hoping the other driver does pull up as well. We all know we want to see some good tandems and some good runs. So yeah, the next drivers up in Group C, as I said. Very close in terms of the qualifying points. Piotr versus Abdul Rahman. And what else do we have here on this one? So after this battle, it's going to be Kilian Kerlus versus Daniel Kvasha. 7th versus the 26th qualifier. Daniel Kvasha, I've seen plenty of him in the previous season in the street class as well. Another very good driver. Not really too familiar with Kilian, but I mean, all you have to do is look at that qualifying score, 90 points. And if I remember correctly, was that one of the Evos that was driving here as well? I do wonder about that. Yeah, you know, having some. We got a 5-minute timeout. I think something's up with the. I think something's up with the belt tensioner, you know. Yeah. I'm getting some more info. Yeah, looks like for the other driver, one of the lug nuts fell off, and they're having some trouble screwing that back in. Oh, Kilian's the Mark IV Super. All right, gotcha. Thank you for the info. Yeah, I don't have the Excel sheet that we had previously, where we could just see all the cars that people were driving, or maybe I just don't have it open. Was there one? Let me check the chat. No, I don't think there was. But yeah, since this is an off-season race, you know, don't really have as much info as we have for the full season. all the time. So yeah, just trying to improvise it a bit, trying to remember a bit from yesterday, but it was a lot of runs that we had to go through. Speaking of going through runs, well, looks like it's going to be coming up right now. It's going to be Piotr Czechovic versus Abdul Rahman Al Alawi, and off the line we go. Piotr in the lead, Abdul Rahman in the chase, and initiating in outside zone 1 right now. Look at that great angle in the lead by Piotr. Abdul a bit lower on the angle, but still managing to keep the proximity somewhat there, and chasing him down, less angle, but keeping the proximity going. Very smooth lead from Piotr though, not wavering whatsoever, hitting all of the zones as he has to. And now for the last outside zone. Great job by Piotr setting himself up for that one, and Abdul Rahman getting into the pocket as well. So what a run that was. So yeah, a bit shaky there from the chase driver, but look at the lead, very consistent, a very high angle there right from the start. Not really seeing too many corrections either, but yeah, that chase definitely left a bit more to be desired from that one. So yeah, gonna be turning around the positions now. It's gonna be Abdul Rahman leading and Piotr chasing. So let's see what they're going to be showing in the other positions right now as well. A very good run by Piotr so far. Definitely has a huge advantage coming into this battle. So let's see how this one's going to pan out. And there we go. The light is green and looks like it's Abdul Rahman off the line. Are we getting a restart? Looks like we are. All right. As always, of course, want to see some nice and clean runs. Hopefully nobody running away from the start. Because man, that lead by Piotr was very good. Anything could happen in the chase, but if he does the same thing as he did in the lead, well, that should be his battle to win right there. So let's see what we got right now. Abdul initiating great angle here into outside zone 1. Piotr a bit lower on the line, but still keeping the proximity going. Great job by both the drivers through the inside clip now for outside zone 3, hitting that perfectly from Abdul Rahman. And now outside zone 5, a lot of angle there, slowing it down a bit. Not as much proximity by Piotr in the chase, but keeping it nice and smooth, not really seeing any corrections, and now getting right into that pocket on the last outside zone. Great job there by Abdul Rahman on the lead. A lot more consistent, way less wavering by Piotr. Also very smooth run, not really seeing him get as close as Abdul Rahman was getting in the chase, but I mean, you can see he is very smooth throughout the whole track, sometimes even adding in more angle than Abdul Rahman in the lead. So a close one here. Some errors from Abdul Rahman in the chase, a bit further back from Piotr in the chase, but both of the leads were looking very good. I would say in the lead department, maybe, you know, a bit of an advantage for Piotr on this one, but this one really could go either way, depending on how much that proximity matters. Or are the judges going to be going more for the smooth run in the chase of Piotr? Alright, judges still making their decision, so definitely not an easy one to decide. Maybe you're going to be looking at the replay once again, and no, we are not. Alright, we got the decision right here. So slide them left for Piotr, slide them right for Abdul Rahman, and moving on to the top 16 is going to be Abdul Rahman Al Alawi on this one. So congratulations, Piotr, thank you for participating. That was a great lead run you had right there. And of course, a very smooth chase as well. And oh, semaphore, teleporting back to pits. Alright, gotcha. So yeah, there we go. Looks like the proximity is what won out that one for Abdul Rahman. Because Piotr was staying a bit further back in his chase. He was keeping it very nice and smooth, but he was not getting as close as Abdul Rahman was. Either way, right now, the next battle already coming up to the starting line, it's going to be Kilian Guerlus versus Daniel Kwasha. We got that Mark IV Supra, and there we go. We got some supporters for Killian there in the chat as well. So it's going to be Killian in the lead, Daniel in the chase. France versus Israel battle. Mark IV Supra and a series, 2 series BMW, I think so. Anyways, off the line we go already. So initiating into outside zone 1, great angle by Killian in the lead, but look at Daniel Kwasha straight into the pocket as well and making some contact, if I saw that correctly. Now falling behind for outside zones 3 and trying to get back into the pocket in outside zone 4, but cannot close out the gap just yet. Takes him like half of the lap to get back into that pocket, but Daniel Kwasha keeping it nice, Killian keeping it nice and smooth in the lead in that Mark IV Supra. So yeah, interesting run. So let's see the replay. Was there contact on outside zone 1? It seems like Daniel Kwasha went in just a bit too hot and made some contact there, which made him fall super far back and disrupted Killian's line as well, making him miss the outside zone 2 just a bit and getting too deep into the inside clip. So I would say quite a big error if that was indeed the contact that happened there. But overall a smooth run there from Killian in the lead. So now they're going to be changing up the positions. It's going to be Killian in the chase, Daniel in the lead, and let's see if Daniel can clean up his run from the chase onto the lead, or if it's going to be Killian showing us yet another solid flowy lap again. So both the drivers are ready for the second run. And let's wait and see what we got in store right now. And while we're waiting, let me have a sip of some water right now as well. Yeah, having somebody else commentate with you really does help you out, because I mean, you can just take a little bit of a break, you know, have some water, have a breather, but right now we're going to be getting right back into the action. Daniel Kwasha in the lead, Killian Gerlis in the chase, initiating, and look at that, too much angle from Killian in the chase, and he falls back, but does manage to get right back into the pocket by the inside clip. Now, very similar angle from both of the drivers. Daniel Kwasha managed to hit all of the zones in the lead, and look at that, some contact there by outside zone 5, but still both of the drivers staying in it and keeping the lap going. A bit shallow here for the last outside zone from Daniel at the start of it, but it does manage to get deeper into the zone by the end of it as well. And man, what a run! What a run! Of course, man, gotta stay hydrated. Yeah, so a bit of an error there from Killian at the start, but still doesn't shake him at all. Managed to get right back in there. So yeah, interesting run, and yeah, I'm not too sure if there was some contact there by the outside zone 5. That looked quite close, but from this angle you can't really see it. Okay, well, checking it once again, does seem like Daniel Kwasha was in the last outside zone as well, right from the start, so looked a bit deceiving there from that angle. And there we go, judges are still making their decision. So yeah, a few errors from both of the drivers in these runs. Taking another look at the replay. Or not? Do we have a decision? No, we don't. It's replay time. Alright, slowing it down a bit more on this one. And there we go. There is going to be the decision. Slide him left for Killian, slide him right for Daniel. And moving on to the top 16, it's going to be Killian Gerlis in that Mark IV Supra. Congratulations to you. Yeah, great runs from him. Great lead run. On the chase run, you know, was a bit further back at the start of it, but that did not shake him off at all. Got right back into the zone. So yeah, great job by both the drivers though. And our last battle of Group C. Yep. Alright guys, for all the drivers, so the starting light, the semaphore, as you can see right now, is gonna stay on until both the drivers get to the starting line. The chase driver has to get into a position where he can see the light properly, then the light is going to go out, and then we're going to get the 3, 2, 1 go from the starting light. Alright, so make sure that when you're in the chase you get into a position where you can see the light properly, so that it's not obstructed by anything or anything of that sort. Once you see the light properly, then we're going to be starting the runs. Would probably be good to type an R in the chat or something like that for ready once you do see the light, you know. So that's for all of our drivers. Okay, if you stop moving, that is when we're gonna know when you're ready for the run. Alright, so just until that point, keep the engine revved, you know, do whatever you have to do, just get in a comfortable position so that you can see the light. So yeah, for the ones who are looking at the stream right now, see, semaphore is on right now. So that means we are just waiting for the drivers to get to the starting line, and we're going to be waiting for the chase driver to get into a more comfortable spot to see the light properly. So yeah, after this next run, it's gonna be the last group of the top 32, and then I do believe we're gonna need a 5-minute break. And there we go, both the drivers getting up to the starting line. So that's gonna be the S15 in the lead, BMW in the chase. We got Gleb Protasov versus Fredrik Blokhus on this one. So the chase driver, looks like they're in position. 3, 2, 1, and light goes green. So Gleb in the lead, Fredrik in the chase. And let's see what we got for this run right now. A good angle there on initiation from Gleb. Fredrik staying a bit further back right there at the start, and does not manage to catch up as much as he would like to, probably by outside zone 4. And look at that, a lot of angle, just slightly getting on the rumble strip there as well. In the lead is Gleb, but Fredrik staying consistent in terms of the proximity, not as close as some of the drivers, the other drivers that we've seen, but still managing to stay very consistent and smooth in the chase. Gleb hitting all of the zones there as well. And there we go. Yeah, great run by both the drivers. Very smooth in the lead, in the chase, you know, leaving a bit of points there on the table in terms of the proximity, but I would say in terms of the angle mimicking and in terms of the smoothness, very well done by Fredrik in the chase. Alright, so swapping around now, Fredrik in the lead, Gleb in the chase positions. So the semaphore, first of all, is it going to be turning on just for the... No, we're just going to be going right into it. Alright, so we are off for the second run right now, and looks like a bit of a flick initiation by Fredrik. A lot of angle there on the start. Gleb, more of a straight line entry, and look at that bumper to bumper transition, staying a bit further back in the chase, but managed to get right back into the pocket by outside zone 3. Big angle transition into outside zone 5 as well right now, and ooh, some contact there, and looks like some errors there. Difficult to see from this angle, but yeah, something definitely happened there in the chase for Gleb Protasov, hitting the wall as well on the last outside zone. So yeah, gonna be checking the replay. Maybe something up with his setup, because that looked very uncharacteristic from him. Can the light drift? Yes, it can. It's actually 800 horsepower. With VDC graphics, if I remember, not graphics, but physics, if I remember correctly. Yeah, a lot of contact there in that run. I wonder if something's up with Gleb's setup, because that seems very uncharacteristic. Look at that. Maybe something with the direct drive. I do wonder what happened there. So yeah, on this one, of course, great run by Fredrik, and we have our results there as already. And yep, that's going to be Fredrik Blokhus moving on to the top 16. So congratulations to you, Fredrik. I hope we can hear a bit of a clarification from Gleb what happened there, because that seemed very uncharacteristic from him on that one. managed to qualify 10th with an 87-point run. And Frederick Blokhus was the 23rd qualifier with 82 points. So I do believe that is our first upset here. Let's see, we got the top 32 right now. So are there any other upsets? Well, on the previous battle, Abdul Rahman won, but I mean, in terms of points, both of those drivers were very, very close. And oh yeah, before we did have Artur Kula versus Bartek Madic. There was an upset there as well. But other than that, most of them, yeah, not really seeing many upsets. Unfortunately, of course, for Hugo and Jan right there, yeah, it was pretty much a buy run there as well. And yeah, moving on to the top 16, Juan Jorges, Abdul Rahman Al-Alawi, Kilian Gerlus and Frederick Blokhus. And the next group coming up right now, it is gonna be Group D. We're going to be starting off with Damian Cherviak versus Ihor Nochko. Then up next we have Luis Trevino versus Lucas Palavinskas, Gert Kubarsep versus Nathan Vieira, Patrick Majewski versus Nikhil Vadekar to round off the top 32 for us here. So some good battles coming up right now as well. And just waiting for the drivers to get into the server, get comfy, get warmed up, see what's up with the physics, if there's any changes in terms of the surface or anything like that. So good stuff so far, I would say, in terms of how close the battles are looking. Yeah, as I said before, not really seeing any upsets, but I would say the battles are still quite close. Some of those, if I was a judge, I would have said that it's one more time. On some of the other ones, though, some uncharacteristic mistakes by some of our drivers as well. But of course, you know, in drifting, only 2 chances, unless there's a one more time. But either way, only 2 chances to show yourself. So every single little mistake counts, and every little mistake can make a difference there. Of course, as always, thanks to our sponsors. You can see them at the bottom of the screen right now. And guys, don't forget, check out all the socials, subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Check out all the other videos and series of sim to real life drifting as well. You can finally see that E36 compact makeover in the series. Well, in flesh. Was possible to see it before, of course. Participating in DCGP with that one is Mr. Lasmanis himself. Looking pretty much the same as real car. Haven't seen it in a while now, though. I do wonder when the next track day is going to be coming up. I myself still have to prepare my car for the technical inspection, which is going to be a bit of a pain. But yeah, soon I'm gonna have to get the funds together for that and get that sorted. Gonna need to buy some new parts, gonna have to unfortunately check out what the rust situation is like, because as we all know, those old BMWs, they do like to rust here and there. So any of you guys enjoying some winter drifting maybe in the chat? I am hoping to have my car properly prepped for the next winter so that I can go to some winter drifting as well. Missed like all of 32. Well, we still have the last group coming up. No, you didn't miss top 16 at all, man. Top 16 is still coming up. As you can see, we got the next group in the server already, warming up. Yeah, I've seen quite a few posts from a few different chats about winter drift on bike only. Oh, yeah, I saw quite a few videos of people drifting on ice and on snow, and man, it looks so fun. It looks so fun. I can't wait for next year. I'm definitely gonna try to make sure that that my car is gonna be ready for the next winter. Of course, before that, it's gonna have to survive through summer. And yeah, you know, I don't really want to think about what my car is going to be looking like at the end of summer. You know, still learning how to drift, not used to drifting in real life at all. Very much a beginner. Managed to link my first laps on the last track day that I've had. Still a lot to learn. A lot to learn. Yeah. We had the first three groups of top 32. So it's still Group D left for top 32, and then we have all of top 16 and further on. So still quite a lot left. Quite a lot left. Wait, it's summer for you? Oh, so which part of the world are you in? Australia? South Africa. Oh, okay. What's the drift scene like over there? Do you guys have a lot of competitions in real life as well? Because I'll be honest, I'm not too familiar with the South African drifting scene. I myself, mostly follow FD and D1 GP and FD Japan. Those are the ones I mostly watch, and of course, Drift Masters as well. Basically the big, all the big competitions. All right, gotcha. Yeah, there's a lot of places in the world that are like not really as popular in terms of drifting, but somehow they managed to get some big drivers out of there as well. Some very good and very talented drivers. Oh really? There's a South African in Pro Spec. All right, I'll try to remember that name then. Jason Webb. Wait. While we have some time. Okay, looks like it's going to be our first drivers of Group C on the line already. Damian Cherviak versus Ihor Mrochko off the line already. It's going to be that Evo 10 in the lead. And look at that great angle on the initiation, but Ihor right there in the pocket as well. A nice transition over to outside zone 2. A bit less angle in the chase, but the lead driver hitting all of the zones right there. A bit too far out on that one, hitting the rumble strips, but still managing to keep it on track. Great angle, a great line by the lead driver, and in the chase, Ihor, look at that, getting right into the pocket on the last outside zone as well. And yep, exactly guys, it's an Evo 10 in drift competition. So yeah, taking a look at the replay right here, we got the camera a bit zoomed in right now. So getting a closer look at the action. It's so weird seeing an Evo 10 drift, right? It's not a private car, no. This is actually just all the public cars, no private cars in this competition right here. But yeah. Yesterday, me and Ed were talking about the Polish guys in the Evo 10s. They were putting on some very good laps in the qualifying, and I mean you could see that just now as well. A very good run by that Evo 10 from Damian. So right now, swapping things around, Ihor in the lead, Damian in the chase. So, getting ready, and off the line we go. Alright, it's gonna be Team Side Negative versus Team Sione Hauki. And initiating into outside zone 1, a lot of angle there from Ihor. Damian lower on the angle, but managed to reel it back in towards the end of the zone. Great inside clip from Ihor. A lot of angle here in outside zone 3 as well. And look at that, just maximum angle from from one turn to the other, and Damien staying in the pocket, a bit less angle, but keeping the proximity very, very good from Damien here in terms of proximity, leaving a little bit left to be desired there on the angle, but still staying very close in that chase. And yeah, great laps from both of our drivers here. Yeah, a bit of a checkup there at the initiation from Damien there, a bit uncharacteristic from what we saw from him in the previous runs, but still that doesn't let it waver him. Managed to get right back in there and lay down a smooth chase run. So this is going to be a bit of a close one, I would say, from both the drivers. Oh, a bit of contact with the wall, I think, there from Ihor as well in the lead. So yeah, now it's all in the judges' hands. Got our last group of top 32 right now. And are we going to be seeing some more of that Evo domination? Because let's see, was it Damien? Yeah, I think it was Damien who was. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, Damien with a 93 points in qualifying. It was our first 90+ run in qualifying yesterday. Put down a very solid run. And of course, right now as well, in the tandems, putting up some good runs here as well. And looks like the decision is here. Slide him left for Damien, slide him right for Ihor, and moving on to the top 16, it's gonna be neither, because it's a one more time. There we go. Our first one more time of the top 32 right now. All right, we're gonna be seeing some more Evo on BMW action right here. All right. So there it is, finally, our first one more time. Yeah, I'm very happy to see that. It was good runs by both of the drivers. So I want to see some more clean laps here. I want to see some more of that Evo 10 on the track, because you do not see those in drifting at all anymore. So we are on the starting line already. Looks like both of the drivers are ready for this one as well. Alright, so Damien in the lead, Ihor in the chase. Our first one more time of the top 32, or well, of the tandems here in general. Those so far. And it was also a split decision. So I would say that is the best time for one more time. And there it is, the light is green, and both the drivers are off. And it's going to be the first run of the one more time right now. Damien initiating a lot of angle there, but Ihor matching it immediately. Great proximity as well. Bumper to bumper transition now, hitting the inside clip. Great job by Damien in terms of the zones and the angle, but Ihor not letting him get away with it at all. Staying right there and kissing the wall with the bumper on outside zone 5 and outside zone 6 as well. Good angle, good line, and look at that, Ihor in the chase. Oh, just a bit less angle, getting into the last outside zone, but manages to reel him in. So yeah, I would say great proximity by Ihor for most of the run, but therefore the last zone, he did let go a bit in terms of the proximity. So giving some more space for Damien to get into the last outside zone right there. So yeah, look at that, very close, just almost bumper to bumper transitions, and here almost a bit too far forward, but managed to correct that error there in the chase. And yeah, here we can see not getting as close, but he does reel him in towards the end of the last zone. Yeah, a bit shaky in that last zone. But now, of course, swapping things back around, Ihor in the lead, Damien in the chase. So let's see if Damien is gonna show us a smoother chase run right here. And the light is green. And looks like it is just Ihor who went off the line on this one. And are we getting a restart? Yeah, remember guys, for our drivers, by the way, so once you get up to the starting line in the chase, make sure that you see the lights. So the starting lights are going to be lit up the whole time until you pull up to the line. Make sure that you see the line, then stop, and then the light will be turned off, and then we will start the runs. So make sure that the light is properly visible, that you can see the semaphore lights, as you can see right now. they will be staying on until you are properly in position. Once you stop, that is when the semaphore light will go off, and that is when we will start the runs. So don't forget about that. Make sure that you can see the light properly in the chase. So not really seeing any adjustments here from Damien in the chase. Can he see the light properly? I do wonder. Alright, there we go. Yeah, looks like he's changing up his angle a bit right there. Get a better view of that light on that semaphore. And looks like we are ready. 3, 2, 1, and off the line we go. There it is. Both the drivers are off the line, and we have our second run of the one more time right now. Big angle here from Ihor on the first outside zone. Damien a bit lower on the angle, but still keeping the proximity. Yeah, staying closer, I would say, than Ihor was in the chase. And look at that, right on the line is Ihor in the lead. Great line, great angle from the lead driver. Damien there a bit of wavering in the chase, but still managed to reel it in yet again. Bumper to bumper transition, and now in the last outside zone, there it is. Yeah, narrowing down the gap between two cars towards the end of the zone. And man, this run, I gotta be honest, yet again looking very close. The start of the run, in my opinion, seeming a bit better for Damien, but towards the end, so let's see what happened here. Okay, so it looks like Damien hit the rumble strip, and that upset his car just a bit. But yeah, not too much wavering from him other than that. And here in the last zone, yeah, also takes a bit longer to get into the pocket. So very close runs yet again from both the drivers. All right, we got Viron in the chat saying that it's probably the Evo. Yeah, I'll be honest, this looked too close for me to tell. So, looks like the decisions are in. So, slide left for Damien, slide right for Ihor, or maybe one more time. It is going to be Damien moving on to the top 16. So, congratulations to Damien on that win. Going to be seeing more of that Evo in the upcoming battles as well. Alright, so up next is going to be Luis Trevino versus Lucas Palavinskas, our 14th and 19th qualifiers here. So that's Luis with 85 points and Lucas with 83 points. Yet again, only a 2-point difference between both of our drivers right here. And look at that, we have a Corvette and an RX-7. Some more uncommon cars here in this competition. So, looks like we're ready and we are off the line already. It's going to be that RX-7 FD in the lead to start things off. Let's see what he has for us right now. Big angle initiation here from Luis, but Lucas matching it immediately and not wavering whatsoever. And look at that, great proximity from Lucas in the chase, but Luis, so much angle, just maximum angle at every single turn. I don't think we've seen any of the drivers put on that much angle throughout the whole lap. Amazing performance there from Luis in the lead, but still Lucas staying very close in the chase. A bit of contact there with the wall from Luis in the lead, but man, what was that angle? Just look at Lewis's angle throughout the whole lap. Immaculate. It doesn't impact his line at all. That is wild. I don't think we saw any of the other drivers have that much angle in the lead today, at least. That was, yeah, I don't even know really what to say. That looked so nice, so stylish, giving him that X factor as well there. And of course, let's not forget Lucas in the chase, you know, staying there the whole time, staying very close. Alright, swapping things around, Lucas in the lead, Luis in the chase, and off the line we go. And looks like the cones were hit. So, I'm gonna be restarting on this one. Yeah, I didn't pay that much attention to outside zone 5. You're right. But yeah, just so much angle. I was too busy just absorbing that run. You know, I couldn't pay enough attention to that one. Either way, restarting this run right now. Lucas in the lead, Lewis in the chase. Let's see what Lewis has for us, has in store for us right now. And there we go, mimicking the angle perfectly, but making some contact and going off the track from Lewis in the chase. Lucas going to be continuing his run, still staying on pretty much the perfect line, even though he was hit, and a lot of angle there as well in the lead. Look at that. Maybe over-angling a bit on that outside zone 5. We'll have to see that a bit later. But yeah, very unfortunate. A big mistake from Lewis in the chase. Got too close, made contact, and yeah, that is gonna cost him big time. So let's look at the replay right now. So, initiating with pretty much the same amount of angle, but then just getting too close and maybe washing out a bit too much as well. Right there, we saw Lewis hit Lucas's rear wheel with his front wheel. That's when he made contact. So that was that was a bit interesting. Maybe he washed out already a bit before that contact was made. So maybe that error was gonna happen either way. But yeah, that is unfortunate. So yeah, let's wait and see what the judges are gonna be saying about this one. Yeah, the vet had a lot of angle on outside zone 5. So the decision is here. Slide them left for Lewis, slide them right for Lucas. And the winner of this one is gonna be Lucas Palavinskas, moving on to the top 16. So yeah, great runs by both the drivers. That lead by Lewis, so much angle, but in the chase, an unfortunate mistake. And of course, Lucas holding it together, even though there was the contact, still providing us with a great lead run there on the second one. But yeah, a lot of angle from both drivers on that last battle. That was great. A lot of style right there. But either way, right now, moving on with Nathan Vieira in the chase and Gert Kubarsev in the lead. So, starting off the lap right now, initiating it outside zone 1, big angle yet again by our lead driver, but Nathan right there in the chase, a bit of contact there on the transition, impeding it just a bit from the chase driver, still does not impact Gert at all, still managing to hit all of the zones, good angle, good line as well. Nathan staying at a consistent proximity there in the chase, and now, getting a bit too close and making contact. That is unfortunate. Yeah, you could see that he fell a bit far back right before the last outside zone. He was trying to catch up, but he accelerated a bit too much and went right into the door of Gert. So very unfortunate, very unfortunate. Alright, so let's see what happened right there. So transition, and yeah, Nathan unfortunately. Wait a minute, they went out the wrong way. Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh. Oh. Wait, did they really? I did not even notice that. I am too absorbed in just following the battles themselves. Alright, well, I wonder what's going to be happening with this one now. Well then, that was a bit unexpected. So yeah, getting some interesting things happening here for us so far in the top 32. Even here in the last group as well. Only a few battles left before we move on to the top 16. So, looks like it is gonna be Nathan in the lead, Gert in the chase right now. And the light goes green. Alright, off the line we go. So that's gonna be the chaser in the lead right now, and the GR86 in the chase. A lot of angle from the GR86 on this one, falling back a bit, but still managed to catch him right away by the outside zone 3, or not really. Still a bit of a gap left right there. Either way, the chaser in the lead, putting on a lot of angle, hitting the zones perfectly, and putting on a great show for us right here. And there we go, already up to the wall, sets himself up perfectly, and look at that GR86 closing out the gap towards the end. So yeah, a bit of a gap there on that one. A bit of a gap at the start, couldn't quite close it out, still in the lead, getting a nice solid run there from the chaser. If the chaser is in the lead, is it still a chaser? Well, he's chasing the victory. You know, it's all about perspective, man. It's all about perspective. Sometimes you can't chase the other car. Sometimes you have to chase the battle win. And there we go. So, waiting for the scores from the judges right now. Or, hey, you know, maybe not chasing even the battle win, maybe chasing the win in the hearts of the spectators by driving a chaser or commentators, because, you know, I personally myself, I really love those chasers. The JZX 100s, they look amazing. They look amazing. Alright, so the judge is still making a decision right here. Looking back at the runs. A lot of angle there from that GR86 at the start of this run. Yeah, lacking a bit in terms of the proximity. Does manage to catch him later on in the run, but I would say not as close. Not as close as we saw in the previous run. Very smooth by the chaser, and looks like the decision is here. So slide them left for Gert, slide them right for Nathan. Moving on to the top 16 on this one, it is going to be Nathan Vieira. 2 votes for Nathan, one vote for one more time. So not a unanimous decision, not a unanimous decision on this one. But congratulations to Nathan. Moving on. And there we go. One last battle left in the top 32. That is going to be Patrick Majewski versus Nikhil Vadekar. 11th versus the 22nd qualifier. So that's 86 points versus 82 points. Both of them in the 80s. Was it really wrong, or was only the data wrong? Could we maybe get a comment on that as well? Because I gotta be honest with you, I personally don't know. I'm here to talk about the drifting that's going on, and other than that, it's up to the organizers, the rest of the organizer team. But yeah, maybe we'll get that clarified in a bit. Right now though, let's move on with the next battle. Patrick Majewski in the lead, Nikhil Vadekar in the chase. We got another Evo, guys, another Evo on the line, and it's going to be leading in the first battle. So here we go. A bit of a gap opening up at the start, and a great job on the initiation, great angle, but there is Nikhil right there, catching up right by outside zone 2, getting right into that pocket. A great line and great angle here from Patrick in the chase, getting right on the edge of the track, now slowing down for the outside zone 5. A lot of angle from Nikhil right there to slow down, even more angle than the lead driver, and that makes it so that he does have a bit of a gap yet again in terms of proximity, but still closes it out by the end of the run. So very solid lead run, very solid lead run there from Patrick. Unfortunately for Nikhil, falling back at the very start, managed to catch up very quickly, but doesn't seem to be able to get right into that pocket, just leaving a bit of room there in terms of proximity. So there we go, great lead run. Unfortunate for Nikhil there on the chase at the start. Yeah, you can see by the end of it managed to get right into that pocket, but of course, as we all know, drifting's drifting, anything can happen. Still another run left, so anything could happen in this second one as well. So swapping around the drivers, now Nikhil in the lead, Patrick in the chase, and the light goes green for the last battle of the top 32. right now, initiating into the outside zone 1. Bit of a straight line initiation from Nikhil, who very wide, gets just barely into the grass, I think, and slowing himself down a bit, so letting Patrick get right into that pocket, and both of the drivers with pretty much the same angle and the same line going through the rest of the track right now. A bit of an earlier transition from Nikhil, but look at Patrick right there getting into the pocket on the last outside zone, not letting him get away whatsoever. So I would say in terms of the proximity, a better job by Patrick right here from Nikhil as well. So let's check the replay. What happened here at the start? So straight line initiation, and yeah, definitely dropped at least one tire, but still did not shake Patrick at all. He slowed down a bit as well, just to keep it nice and consistent in that chase. So another great performance by an Evo here. A great run by Patrick. Unfortunate for Nikhil, a few mistakes here and there. Other than that, a really good run. Oh, a bit of a wall tap there as well for the last outside zone. But overall, I would say a good job from both of the drivers. So judges making their decision right now. Maybe we could see it one more time. No, looks like the decision's here. Well, it could still be one more time. So sliding left for Patrick, sliding right for Nikhil, and it is going to be Patrick Majewski who gets the win and moves on to the top 16 on this one. So congratulations to Patrick on the win, and that's going to be rounding out our top 32 right here. So got the top 16 all set up. Ahmed Al-Hamadi versus Simon Sandman, Emilis Valeka versus Bartek Majer, Siem Voort versus Ahmed Al-Subaka, Olaf Tagakula versus Jan Chor, Juanan Jorges versus Abdulrahman Al-Alawi, Kilian Guerlus versus Frederick Blokhus, Damian Cherviak versus Lukas Palavinskas, Nathan Vieira versus Patrick Majewski. That's going to be our top 16. 2 Evos in the top 16, yeah, you're right. So both of them still moving on. Alright, so guys, I'm gonna be back in just a minute. Hope you're gonna get to see the drivers for the top 16 starting to warm up right now, but yeah, I'll be right back.
I feel like I fought all my life for this. This one part, this 1/3 I've always missed. No, just don't let it go. I started the fight, but now I'm losing. So will I fall again? I'm scared of heights, yet it was me who ran away. Oh, I can't forget myself. The peace that I'm missing, it kills me inside. I need help, oh please give me back this one part, this 1/3. I'm sorry I lost it. No, I let my weapons fall. I'm drowning in the fears, and now I know that I will fall again and let it go, but I can't stop to run away. To run away.
So I said no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you die to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you die to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling.
Wait a minute!
So I said no, 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 it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you die to me? I killed alone, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you die to me? I killed alone, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling.
Say I'm good-hearted, but I'm just getting started. Got my eyes on the target. No, no. Till the battle's won, till kingdom come. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, they'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me,
Right, guys, and we are back with the top 16. So it looks like the drivers have went to pits already, and looks like we're going to be starting off the top 16 right now. So the first battle here is going to be Ahmed Al-Hamadi versus Simon Sandman, our number 1 qualifier versus our number 17th qualifier, going up to the line right now. So another run that we're going to get to see by Ahmed. He's going to be in the lead first, Simon in the chase. And we are off the line already. Alright, let's get right into it. So, Ahmed in the lead, Simon in the chase, initiating it outside zone 1. Great angle by Ahmed in the lead, but look at Simon right there, immediately right on his door from the start of the lap, right into the inside clip as well. Great job on the lead, a lot of angle, maybe a little bit of contact there on that transition, but still keeping it nice and smooth from both drivers. Great line, great angle, and look at that, Simon staying in the pocket for the whole lap right there, going a bit further back before the last outside zone, but not for long, gets right back into it once again, and there it is, first run is on the board already. So great job, very clean lap by both the drivers, and there we go. Great way to start things off here in the top 16, and of course, just like all the previous runs, a great lead by Ahmed. But look at Simon in the chase though, not giving him an easy time at all, staying very close in a few spots, of course a bit further back right there after the transitions, doesn't seem to be able to catch up right away, but as you can see here on the long wall right there on the last outside zone, manages to get back into that pocket. So right now, changing things around, Ahmed in the chase, Simon in the lead. And let's see what these drivers have in store for us right now. Alright, and off we go. So a lot of angle there for Simon, but looks like a bit more angle from Ahmed in the chase to start things off. A great job on outside zone 2 as well, hitting the zone in the lead. Same thing for outside zone 3. Big angle going now into outside zone 4. And look at that, Ahmed right there in the pocket as well, around the same proximity if I'm guessing here so far. But now for the last outside zone, look at that, Ahmed immediately getting right on his door right away. So definitely an improvement there from Ahmed over Simon in the chase for the end of the run. But overall, a very nice and smooth run here as well. Very similar runs from both of our drivers, I would say. At a few spots, as you can see, like right there, not really that much proximity, but at this speed, it is quite difficult to get into that pocket immediately. But yeah, look at that. So here for the last one, Ahmed was right there, right from the get-go. So yeah, very close runs, very close runs. I wouldn't really be able to tell you who would be taking this one, but the decision has already been made. So slide them left for Ahmed, slide them right for Simon, and moving on to the top 8 right now, it is gonna be Ahmed Al-Hamadi. Congratulations on the win. And yeah, I see a one more time in the chat. Honestly, on that one, I personally would have liked a one more time, because that looked very close. That looked very close, but still, of course, yet another great run by Ahmed, you know, moves on. And well, we are also moving on to the next battle. So this time it's going to be Emilis Valejka versus Bartek Maciej. And it's going to be Emilis in the lead first, Bartek in the chase. So it's going to be 2 BMWs on this one. And there they go, yellow versus pink, green and black. And initiating into first outside zone right now, big angle yet again from Emilis, but Bartek staying right there, a bit lower on the angle, but very good in terms of the proximity, staying super close here throughout the whole track so far. And yeah, look at Emilis' angle, just almost 90 degrees there into the outside zone 5 as well, hitting all of the zones, staying right where he needs to on the track. And Bartek now in the chase, closing out right on the door, leaving some rubber marks there for the end of the track. Great runs. Look at the aggression here from Emilis in the lead every single time, just so much angle right away, just right from the start as well. Great job on that. You could see that Bartek had to take out just a bit of that angle to keep the proximity going, but still managed to hold it right there as well, staying very close throughout the whole track and very smooth and consistent in that chase. Not really seeing any wavering from him right there at all, to be honest. So great runs, great run yet again from both the drivers, keeping it nice and clean. And let's see if Emilis is going to be putting on that same aggression now in the chase. So starting a bit further back than Bartek was, both of them on the starting line already. Let's see what we have in store right now from both of these drivers. So Bartek initiating with a bit of a flick, and there it is, Emilis right on the door from the very start. A super aggressive initiation right there on the transition as well, not letting him run away with it at all. Bumper to bumper transitions all the way through the track so far. Very good in terms of the proximity, especially on those transitions. And there it is, Bartek kissing the wall right there on that outside zone. And now for the end of the lap. I mean, what a chase there by Emilis. Yeah, I was talking about that aggression. Well, he was definitely putting on the aggression there in that chase. Look at that, starting off with just a bit more angle, then dialing it back to match Bartek as well. Such a great run, such a great run. Well done from both of the drivers. And yeah, of course, Bartek as well, hitting all the zones, getting the inside clip as well. Very, very well done from both of them. Yeah, every single transition, it seems like Emilis is right on his rear bumper, just leaving marks. And there it is. We got some donuts for both of our drivers right there. Yeah, after runs like that, I mean, who wouldn't do the same? So slide him left for Emilis, slide him right for Bartek, and the winner of this round is Emilis Valeka, moving on to the top 8. So yeah, I mean, that chase is so much aggression, so much angle, and the proximity there from the very, very start. It is difficult to nail that proximity on these first few corners because of the speed that you're going into them with, but he managed to pull it off very well. So there it is. Now up next, Siim Voort versus Ahmed Al-Subaka. So Siim Voort is going to be leading first, Ahmed in the chase. And let's see what we are going to be getting up next. Yet again, another BMW on BMW battle. So as we move on further through the top 16 right now, seeing some more of those BMWs getting those wins in that top 32. So right now it's going to be Siim initiating, but looks like there is contact. That seems like Ahmed made contact with Siim initiating just a bit later, and well, very unfortunate right there. We're gonna have to look at the replay. So what happened right there? From what I saw, it seems like Siim is initiating, but Ahmed, yeah, just a bit late on the initiation, and drives right into the back of Siim's car on that one. Yeah, see what I said just now about the first few corners. You know, in that chase, it is very, very difficult. It is very difficult to judge what the lead drivers got to do, and that's why most of the drivers leave a bit more space. But Ahmed wanted to risk it all right there for the proximity. So I do believe that that is gonna go on Ahmed for that one. I don't think Siim was initiating too late. That looked like right on time. And yeah, we can see the wheels flying around a bit, the physics of that. Look at that, Siim still sitting there. Might be having some car issues after that impact. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back to the starting line. Might need a competition timeout right there, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe the car just starts right up and he just drives away. You know, we've seen a lot of things happen in these competitions right here, but still not moving from that spot. I think he's talking to his spotter right now, telling him what he thinks the damage is, and well, looks like we have the results of this one already. So slide him left for Siim, slide him right for Ahmed, and it's gonna be Siim Voort winning this top 16 battle right here. Unfortunate result for Ahmed, and looks like we're gonna be getting a judge coming into the call to explain this one. Hello, hello.
Hello spectators, hello commentators, good evening. So commenting on the last run, since Siim was leading on his run and Ahmed made a mistake and went in the lead driver's side. So in this case, the lead driver's car was damaged. Yes, it can actually happen also in the sim. so he's not able to show up on the second part of the run. And since this is a chase driver's fault, the Sim automatically gets a win for this run. For us, luckily, he will be able to get to top 8, so we will see him again. But in other cases in IRL, of course, the first Bikarneki wall, that will be the end of weekend, hopefully not the end of season.
All right, gotcha. Thank you for the info. So there we go. Yeah, turns out that these things can happen in the sim as well. Thank you for the input for that one. And yeah, I hope Sim himself is fine. I hope he can manage to recover until his next battle. I mean, the team's gonna have to work really hard to get the car fixed for that one, but they do have some time. You know, it's still the top 16, so still quite a few battles left. We've seen some amazing things getting done in between the rounds from the teams in other tourneys. Sim brought 2 cars. Oh, if he has a second one, then what are we even worried about? All right, no worries then, no worries. So moving on with the next battle, it's gonna be Olaf Tagakula versus Jan Schar. So we're gonna be seeing that Mark II yet again. All right, so on the starting line right now, Olaf in the lead, Jan in the chase, and starting off this top 16 battle. Let's see what these drivers have in store for us. 2 Estonians here. A lot of angle here from Olaf on the initiation. Jan falling back just a bit there, but managed to get right back into the pocket yet again. Very similar angle from both of the drivers, but Jan not quite being able to close the gap as much. But there it is towards the second half of the lap, managing to get a bit closer there, and now to finish off the run. I mean, look at the angle from Olaf. That is amazing angle that he's managing to pull through the whole lap, and that's against the chaser as well. Usually chasers are the swingier cars that get right into that big angle and stay right there, but this time it is that BMW with a lot of angle through most of the track. But still, look at that in the chase. Jan managing to mimic the angle quite well, not getting the proximity as close for a lot of it, but man, that was a great lap by Olaf. Look at this transition to the last outside zone, just immaculate. That was a great job right there in the lead. All right. Well, there we go. That's the first run out of the way, and let's see if Olaf can manage to keep the same angle while getting the proximity going, or is it gonna be Jan running away from him on this one? So initiating now into outside zone 1, and well, looks like it's a lot of angle from Jan, a big gap opening up right away, but with Jan over angling too much, he does give Olaf a chance to catch him, but still keeping a bit of a gap right there, managing to catch him here on the second part of the track, hitting all of the zones right now. And let's see on the last wall right now, can Olaf get the gap closed in? And yes, he can indeed, finishing right on that door as well. And man, what was the start of this one? Look at that, he just completely ran away from him, but then so much angle, just barely managed to keep it on track. So a bit of a mistake from Jan right there after the initiation, but still pulls together a very nice run after that initiation. Man, that was an interesting run right there. So mentioned it right before the run started, you know, is Olaf going to be able to stay by his side right there with as much angle as he was putting on? And then Jan just goes and just completely, almost a backwards entry right there. Well, looks like the decision is made already. So Olaf on the left, Jan on the right. Moving on to the top 8, it is going to be Olaf Tagakula. So congratulations on the win on that one. Yeah, great lead run, and on the chase, managing to eke it out right there on that one. So there it is. There it is. That is the first half of the top 16 done for us right now. Moving on to the top 8, it's going to be Ahmed Al-Hamadi versus Emilis Valeka, and Sim Vort versus Olaf Tagakula. So that's one half of our top 8 that we know already, but of course still the other half left. Moving on, it's going to be the second group joining the server right now and getting ready. So starting off that one, it's going to be Juanan Jorges versus Abdul Rahman Al-Alawi. Oh, yeah, commentating alone does really take a bit of a toll on you after a few hours, huh? Either way, that's going to be the first battle. Then after that we got Kilian Gerlis versus Frederick Blokhus, Damian Cherviak versus Lukas Palavinskas, Nathan Vieira versus Patrick Majewski. And so it's going to be up first, the 2nd versus the 18th qualifier. And well, if we look at the previous bracket before, no upsets in that one either. The higher seeded drivers moving on all of those. Now, of course, going over to this bracket, right here we do have the 27th qualifying driver in Nathan Vieira, who managed to get the upset over Gert. And we're going to be seeing if maybe he's going to be able to get some more of those upsets to get him towards that podium, or if it is yet again going to be the higher qualifying driver who's going to be moving on to the next one. But of course, that one is going to be coming up at the end of the top 16 battles for us. And there we go. We see our guys in the server already, getting ready, getting practiced. Some more laps before we get started. Yeah, those were some great battles there in the top 8, and man, on that last one right there, the angle that some of these guys can manage to keep in their runs, still so far the best that I personally saw in terms of angle was, let's see, who was it? It was Luis Trevino from the top 32. Yeah, in his chase, unfortunately couldn't pull it together. But man, on that lead, the amount of angle he was pulling, it was just wild. And seems like some of these drivers now are taking notes and are using more and more angle here as well. And there it is, another Evo, as we can see back on the starting line as well. Seeing some more of those. And yeah, oh right, it's Evos, both Evos on this side of the bracket, right? Or was there one on the other one? I'm not too sure about that, but we get some more Evo action here in the top 16 as well. But yeah, as we can see, a lot of these BMWs moving on. A lot of these BMWs. Got the Mark IV Supra as well right there. So guys, in terms of looks, which car do you like the most here in this competition in terms of livery and everything else? For me, I mean, look, I do like my Mark IIs, you know, but oh, looks like we're gonna be checking replay. Nope. All right, back to live. But yeah, for me personally, my favorite car, and together with the livery, it still has to be that RX-7. I mean, they just look so great, especially going sideways with that much angle, you know. There is not much that looks better than that, in my opinion. And great to see, of course, all these different cars, especially the Mark II and the RX-7 for me personally. So how many more battles do we even have left? That's going to be 12 battles, if there are no more one more times left in this competition right here. So far, only one more time that we have seen, so I do wonder if we're going to be seeing maybe some more of those on this side of the bracket as well. Or maybe further on, you know, as we move further on into the competition, it is going to be those, well, most likely higher seeded drivers. 15 painkillers and car fixed for top 8. Alright, there we go. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. You gotta make sure you can get to the starting line, you know. Get to do whatever you can, man. But yeah, I was already told that you have a second car prepared already. So yeah, I mean, I was worried at first, but hey, you know, if you only need to fix the car that was crashed after the competition, nothing that a few zip ties can't fix. Yeah, that is true. That did not look like that bad of a crash. You know, all the bumpers were still on the car. Didn't really see anything really too bent either. Maybe something under the car, but you know, just a few more zip ties and should be fine. Alright, do we have our first drivers here on the line already? I do believe that is indeed going to be Juanan Jorges versus Abdulrahman Al-Alawi, and they are off the line already. Juanan in the lead in that Mark 5 Supra. Great angle here on the initiation, but look at that. Great proximity as well from Abdul right there in the chase. A bit less angle, but keeping the proximity very, very close. And bumper-to-bumper transitions now onto outside zone 5. Great angle from both the drivers. Of course, Juanan is always hitting all of the zones. Look at that right there. Rear bumper to the wall. Great setup here for the last outside zone. And there it is. Abdul getting that proximity here for the last zone as well. Nice way to start off this side of the top 16. Yeah, look at that. Right away from the initiation, he manages to get the proximity very, very close in that chase. And that does not shake Juanan at all though. Great line, great angle, gets into all of the zones, does exactly what the judges want him to do. And here the setup for the last zone, maybe a bit less angle than some of the other drivers that we have seen here in the last zone, but still keeps it very consistent and no corrections at all. So turning things around right now, Abdul Rahman is going to be in the lead, Juanan in the chase. It looks like Juanan a bit further back on the start right there. So off the line we go. Let's see who's going to be taking this one home. And a lot of angle here on the initiation from Abdul Rahman, but that does not shake Juanan at all. He sticks right there in the pocket as well. Look at that bumper-to-bumper transitions. Big angle here for outside zone 4, and now slowing it down just a bit in outside zone 5. But still Juanan right there in the pocket as well. Great job adjusting to that initiation from Abdul Rahman. Now for the last zone, touching the wall just a bit there in the lead, and there it is, over the line we go. Oh man, what a run. So let's look at that initiation once again. So I think a bit too much angle maybe from Abdul Rahman. No, he didn't really go out of the angle too much. Managed to keep it together with all of that. Looked like a bit of an error from for me at least when we were watching it live, but it does seem like he managed to keep the angle going throughout the turn, maybe just slightly lowering the angle gradually as he was driving through that zone. But a great job there by both the drivers, and Juanan as well in the chase, just getting into the pocket right away. And well, I did mention those one more times before. This might be one of the chances for us to see another battle, which I mean I would not mind at all. So let's see what the result is right here. Is one of the drivers going to be moving on to the top 8, or are we seeing some more action from both these guys? And it is a completely split decision, so it's going to be a one more time between Juanan and Abdul Rahman. So yeah, there we go, finally another one more time. And I mean, if the battle is going to be of the same quality, I would not mind a few more, to be honest with you, because that was great. Great driving from both the drivers, not really seeing too many errors, or well, if any errors at all, at least from my side. So let's hope there's going to be some more close tandems coming up right now as well. And there they are, pulling up the starting line. Got those fresh tires on already. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. It's time for another one more time right now, and let's see who makes it onto the top 8 right now. Flick initiation right there by Juanan, big angle there, staying a bit further back in that chase right now is the BMW, but manages to get right back on the door to outside zones 2 and 3, and look at that, great angle in the lead by Juanan. Getting some more proximity right now to outside zones 5 and 6, and bumper to bumper here going into the last zone. A little bit of contact there from the chase driver, but still that does not chase Juanan whatsoever. And great job by both the drivers. So Abdul Rahman right there, leaving some more space here on the initiation, a bit safer, not exactly what you would want to see in a one more time, seeing how close Juanan was staying from the very start of the lap, but still managed to reel him in, managed to get some more of that proximity once again. This run though, I would say from Abdul Rahman, looking a bit shakier than the previous one, so maybe the nerves of the one more time starting to get to him a bit. Could be the case as well, but I would really doubt that, you know, considering he is a part of the Eagle team that, as Ed said yesterday, you can see quite a lot of in the sim competitions. Either way, it's time for the second run right now. Abdulrahman in the lead, Juanan in the chase. Is he gonna throw that big angle once again right on initiation? And yes, he is. Look at that great angle here from Abdulrahman on the initiation, but Juanan right there on the door throughout the transition, right on the bumper, and immediately onto the door through outside zones 3 and 4 as well. Now slowing down for outside zone 5. A great proximity and great line there from Abdulrahman in the lead. Now it's time for the last zone. Juanan very close there in the chase, but staying nice and consistent, not going too far, not making any contact there. Just some light taps maybe on the door, leaving some nice rubber marks right there. So great job by both drivers. And yeah, those initiations by Abdulrahman, so much angle on the lead right off the bat. Always nice to see such aggressive entries with so much commitment. But man, that was, yeah, exactly, just in chat, crazy transition. Yeah, Juanan just doesn't let him run away with it whatsoever. Great job in the chase as well. Are we going to be seeing another one more time, or is there going to be a winner for this one? Because man, those were some great runs yet again. Could be maybe that the start of the first run, where Abdulrahman stayed back a bit more, that might have been the decider, honestly, because the way that Juanan handled the initiation on his chase and then the first transition, man, that was something else. That was something else. So let's see, the judges are still deciding on who they want to go with for this one. So it looks like this one also might be quite close. It wasn't on the bumper, it was backseat transition. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right about that one. I think you're right about that one. I would like to see another angle of that transition, because that was so close. From the angle that we had, to me it looked like there was going to be contact, but somehow he managed to pull it off. That was wild. And there it is, yeah, as you can see, the judges still don't have a decision for this one, so still thinking, still deciding who they want to go with on this one more time battle. Great way to start off the top 8. Quality runs from both drivers, all 4 of the runs. Always love to see that. Would not mind seeing more of that either. Alright, so maybe we're going to be checking out one of the replays, or are we just going to be looking at these cars right here? Not easy to judge with this driver's level. Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, you know, I've said this a million times and I'll keep on saying it. Respect to the judges. I know I could never, because when the drivers are this good, it's just the smallest differences that decide the winner. For me, there would be about 51 more times, but looks like we have a decision. So, slide them left for Juanan, slide them right for Abdulrahman, and are we going to be seeing the first upset? And it is going to be Juanan. Jorge is moving on to the top 8. So our second qualifier still in the competition. Of course, thank you to Abdulrahman for participating on this one. Man, those initiations in the lead, that was something else right there. That was great. So I hope to see more of you in the upcoming events as well. Some good driving. So up next, we're going to be moving on to Kilian Gerlus versus Fredrik Blokhus. That's going to be our next battle coming up right now. And there we go. Looks like the light is green, and off the line they go. So it's a new livery style, both of the drivers with invisible cars right here. No? Okay. Well then, where are our drivers? Are we calling a 5-minute timeout here? Maybe some last-minute car issues that have to be fixed? Gotta get the speakerphone out, summon both the drivers to the starting line. Not enough zip ties in the pits. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Hey, I'm not too far from Bikerniak, you know? Guys, if we want to take like a 15-minute break, I could deliver a few hundred. I can help them out. I can help them out if needed. You would take them if it happens again. Wait, come on. You don't have a third car ready to go? And there we go. Looks like both our drivers are coming out the starting line right now. So, that is going to be Kilian Gerkes versus Fredrik Blokhus. Poor Estonians. Alright, so we are ready and off the line we go for the next top 16 battle. Kilian Gerkes versus Fredrik Blokhus. Kilian in the lead. Big angle initiation. Fredrik leaving some space right there on the first outside zone, but still managed to reel him right in by the touch and go. Great angle there in the lead. Very smooth driving there from Kilian in the lead, but now Fredrik a bit too much angle maybe there on the outside zone 5. Yet again building up a bit of a gap. But now for the last zone, look at that, setting himself up very well in the lead. And oh, Fredrik almost making contact there, manages to catch him, but then has to brake a bit much, and yet again building up a bit of a gap towards the end of the lap right there. Almost making contact, just barely holding it together though. So still keeping the lap clean for both of the drivers. But yeah, some wavering here and there in the chase, not as close as some of the other runs that we have seen. So I'm gonna have to turn things around and I'm gonna have to see what they're gonna be able to do on the opposite positions right here. So we are on the start line already. Both of our drivers seem to be ready for this next one. So let's get that camera in position. Now it's of course going to be Fredrik in the lead, Kilian in the chase. So off the line we go. Alright, so is Kilian going to keep on providing the smooth chase yet again? Look at the angle, mimicking it perfectly right off the start in the chase. A great transition as well. Fredrik hitting all the zones right now, getting the touch and go as well. Good angle there coming into outside zone 4, but hitting the rumble strips, and that messes up both of the drivers a bit, but still they keep on going through the lap right now. Big angle going to the last outside zone from Fredrik in the lead. Now Kilian leaving a bit more space right there, so we're gonna have to look at that replay. What happened there going into outside zone 4? Was it Fredrik overshooting it a bit in the lead and then Kilian just following him there? Because that really did mess up Kilian's chase after that on the next transition. So I'm gonna have to see that one again. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe there was some contact as well. I wasn't really paying too much attention to that specifically. I was looking more at Fredrik's car itself. Didn't really see it move around too much, so I don't believe there was contact from Kilian in the chase, although the proximity was definitely there. So, are we going to be seeing a replay of that second run as well? Or is it going to be going right into the decisions from the judges? This time got a Norwegian versus a French driver. I personally, of course, you know, no bias, but the Mark IVs, I mean, I would like to see some more of that going into the next battles as well. We have a lot of BMWs left in the competition right now, so you know, it would be nice to see a bit of variety in terms of the cars. It looks like the decision is here. Slide them left for Kilian, slide them right for Fredrik, and it is going to be Kilian Gerkes moving on to the top 8. So congratulations to you on the win. Thank you, of course, Fredrik, for the great laps, and it looks like that Mark IV is going to be showing up a bit more. Alright, so the next battle for us right now, Damian Cherfiec versus Lukas Palavinskas. I do hope I'm pronouncing that last name at least somewhat correctly, because some of those names, you know, for me personally are a bit difficult. There it is, the Evo is back. Evo versus Corvette. So I was saying that we get a lot of BMWs, and then we get two cars that have barely even shown up right here. So there it is, time for the first run. Damien in the lead, Lucas in the chase. Initiating the first outside zone, good angle there from Damien, but Lucas matching it perfectly with great proximity as well, starting to transition before the lead driver, but still managed to stay right in that pocket. Big angle there from Damien as well. Now a bit of a gap opening up, but still manages to close it back, or no, he does not on outside zone 5. Still a bit of a gap left right there. Damien though hitting all the zones right now, setting himself up very well for the last outside zone, and Lucas just inching forward into that pocket, leaving some tire marks on the door as well. Not bad at all. Good job from both the drivers on the first run. So there we go, driving back to the starting line, following that Evo all the way there. Yeah, right as I mentioned, us seeing mostly the BMWs, two very uncommon cars in this competition. Now of course the Corvettes getting more and more popular in USA, not really seeing them anywhere else in the world though. Daigo Saito had one in Japan, if I remember correctly, but yeah, other than that, you know, mostly a USA car, which, you know, I mean, does make sense. Either way, right now it's time for the second run. This time it is going to be Lucas in the lead and Damien in the chase. So let's see what these guys are going to be showing us right now. Off the line we go. And let's see who's going to be moving on into the top 8, initiating into the first outside zone. Big angle there from Lucas. Damien with a bit lower angle and a gap opening up already. And look at that, a great transition from Lucas, keeping the big angle going here as well, all the way through the track right now. Look at that, kissing the wall here with the bumper on outside zone 5. A great job on the lead. Now of course Damien in the chase, a bit of a gap there at the start, but closes it out now here by the last zone and leaves some tire marks on Lucas's door as well. So yeah, great angle here from Lucas in the lead. Damien falling back a bit, even though he had less angle, couldn't quite catch Lucas, and on the first part of the track managed to close the gap towards the end. But let's see if that was good enough for him to move on, or if it's going to be Lucas going to the top 8 right now. There we go, judges still making their decision, of course. Gotta take their time. Hello, Henry. The RX-7, so those cars look like they can put on the angle and just keep it going throughout the whole lap. I would say even more so than most of the other cars. Maybe it's in the setup, you know, maybe it's in the driving style, but oh no, stream, what happened? We still good? We're back. All right, good. Glad to hear that. Well, didn't miss much, you know, still deciding on who the winner is going to be of this one. And looks like we have our decision right here. So sliding left from Davian, right for Lucas, and it is going to be unanimous for Lucas, moving on to the top 8. Great runs right there by Lucas. The angle on the lead was perfect, just max angle from lock to lock right there, from one corner to the other. Great job on that one. Alright, so the last battle for the top 16 now. It's going to be Nathan Vieira versus Patrick Majewski. So waiting for our drivers to pull up to the starting line right now. Great battles, and as you can see, of course, the longer the competition goes on, the longer it takes for the judges to make their decision. And that just means, of course, the higher we go in the brackets, the closer these battles are getting. So definitely not easy to make these decisions right here. Some very close battles right now happening for us, and it is only gonna get closer as we move on to the next ones. And there we go, another Evo 10 pulling up to the starting line. So let's see if Patrick is gonna keep that Evo 10 dream alive in this top 16 right now, or is it gonna be Nathan Vieira in that GR86 moving on to the top 8 up next. So off the line we go. Patrick in the lead, Nathan in the chase, got that green Evo 10, and with big angle, both of them initiating side by side. Great mimicking of the angle right there in the chase by Nathan. But look at Patrick hitting all the zones just as he should, and Nathan in the chase going too far. That might have been 2 wheels off in the chase, going over the rumble strips, but still keeps on going. Not that big of a gap opening, even though he had those tires off the track as well. And look at that, just leaving some nice tire marks there on the door at the end of the lap as well. And man, that was a tough one right there to keep going in that chase position. Is there a Latvian still left? No, unfortunately not. We had Mati Slācis, was the only Latvian representing in the top 32, but unfortunately he got knocked out. Yeah, had a great first run, had to be restarted, and unfortunately he couldn't move on further. But yeah, right now we're going to be swapping over those positions. So let's see if he's going to be able to pull together a nice and clean lead run right now for Nathan. Yeah, there we go. For Nathan in that GR86. So off the line we go. Alright, Nathan in the lead, Patrick in the chase. A bit of a flick initiation, big angle right there from Nathan yet again. This time on the lead, Patrick staying there behind with a bit less angle, but look at that proximity, going right on his door to outside zone 3, now to outside zone 4, slowing down a bit. Big angle there yet again on outside zone 5. Staying in consistent proximity is Patrick in the chase, but Nathan putting that car right where it has to be, all the way through the track. And look at that rear bumper on the wall all throughout that last outside zone. So great job from Nathan, definitely cleaning it up in the lead. But I do wonder if that mistake that he made is gonna be the deciding factor right here. And well, looks like the decision has been made already for this one. So it's gonna be Patrick Majewski moving on to the next one. So there we go. That's gonna be rounding out our top 16. Patrick Majewski with the win on that one. So in the top 8, we have Ahmed Ahmadi, Emilis Valeka, Sim Vort, Olaf Tagakula, Juanan Jorges, Kilian Gerlus, Lucas Palavinskas, and Patrick Majewski right now. So yeah, look at that. So there was one upset that we had in the top 16. All right, so looks like we are back. Yeah, sorry for that. So guys, what do you think? Who is going to be taking this one home? Is it just going to be a clean sweep by Ahmed Al-Hamadi, or are we going to be seeing an upset? This next battle coming up right now, that's going to be Ahmed Al-Hamadi versus Emilis Valeka, could be a really good one. Emilis has been putting on some very aggressive runs with big angle, very committed on the initiation immediately from the get-go, both in the lead and in the chase. Ahmed versus Juanan. I mean, they are the number 1 and 2 qualifiers, but I gotta say, if there's anyone who I could be seeing so far today upsetting Ahmed, it could be Emilis, because his runs were super aggressive. And I would say if you got somebody like that driving with you, you know, the pressure is definitely on. I don't think Ahmed is a driver who the pressure will get to, but I mean, look, it's drifting, you know, anything could happen here. I mean, it would be great to see both of those drivers moving on, because they have both been laying down some very solid runs. Juan Jorge is going to be going up against Kilian Carlos. Also, very good drivers. I mean, what else can I really say about these drivers, you know? Everybody else who is left here is a very good driver. Evo in the finals, please. Ooh, that would be great. That would be great. You know what? While we're at it, let's bring back, let's see, who was it? Let's bring back Luis Trevino, you know? Just get him in the finals. I just want to see an RX-7, you know? The commentators' finals. RX-7 versus an Evo 10. Can we make that happen somehow? There we go. The guys are on the server, getting warmed up and getting ready. A lot of BMWs. But as we can see right there, a Corvette, an Evo 10, and Super 4, Mark 4. So get some rarer cars here in the mix as well. Got some Super on Super action as well. Yeah, it would be nice to also see an Evo in the finals. I mean, yeah, any of these guys could take any of the battles. If I gotta be honest with you, you know, it's looking very close, and looks like right now it is gonna be time for the next battle. Ahmed Al-Hamadi versus Emilis Valeika. Ahmed in the lead, Emilis in the chase. This should be a good one, so let's get this one started. Initiating into the first outside zone. Big angle right there by Ahmed. Emilis matching it immediately right on his door, leaving the marks on the first outside zone already. Yet another bumper-to-bumper transition, staying right there, very consistent in terms of the proximity. Great angle, great line here from both of the drivers, slowing it down just a bit for outside zone 5. Great job so far, kissing the bumper on the wall right there as well. And now for the last zone, Emilis getting right there into that pocket. I mean, that was beautiful right there from both of the drivers. Get that this was started. Initiating into the first outside already. Zone. Look at big that. Angle right there by Ahmed. Emilis matching right there from the very start, and just a bit of a tap of the wheel on that door as well. Oh man, what a run! Look, we only saw one run so far, but from what I've seen from these guys so far, you know, I would not mind 5 one more times, maybe 10, you know, maybe that would be enough, because both of these guys, they have just been on it today. Very, very solid driving. So now swapping things around, Emilis in the lead, Ahmed in the chase. And there we go, it's time for the second run right now. So looking for that aggressive entry, and look at that big initiation here from Emilis, but Ahmed matching it perfectly. Yet another bumper-to-bumper transition, and right there making a little bit contact with that tire on the outside zones 3, mimicking the lead line perfectly. Oh, but there is some contact right now going to outside zone 5 from Ahmed in the chase, but still managed to keep it together. Both of the drivers going through the lap, and there we go. So some contact was made there by Ahmed in the chase, but still did not shake Emilis whatsoever, did not waver at all. And yeah, I mean, just look at that, so much angle, almost perfectly mimicking the angle throughout the whole track as well in the chase. So let's see this right here. And yeah, see, Emilis slowing down, but Ahmed going into that outside zone 5 with just a bit too much speed. Just knocks him forward just a bit, so that might be a bit of an error there. But looks like we have Ed joining in. Hey Ed, what's up?
What's up? What did I miss?
Man, you just missed so far the best battle of the competition. I hope you saw that.
No, the last one I actually didn't. I was putting my dishes down in the sink.
You have to look at the replay, because that was wild from both of these guys. Just the initiations, the angle, the proximity. So let's see, are we going to be getting a one more time, or is one of these drivers moving on? And it is going to be an upset by Emilis Valeika moving on to the to the top 4. So there we go. Congratulations to Emilis. And yeah, I did mention it before. Very aggressive driving from him. And as I said, if there was anyone who I could see upsetting Ahmed, it was gonna be him. So it looks like that contact that Ahmed made in the chase in the last outside zone might have been the deciding factor right there. But alright, gonna be moving on to the next battle right now. Olaf Tagakula versus Siim Voort. Siim Voort in the lead with his second car. Olaf Tagakula in the chase. Two Estonian drivers right here. And let's get this started right now. So big angle there from Siim in the lead, but look at that. Olaf perfectly mimicking it right off the bat in the chase already. Maybe even a bit more angle now going through outside zone 3. Great job from both of them. And there it is going down outside zone 5. Slowing the cars down just a bit. Very well done from both of these drivers. Bumper to bumper transitions. Now a bit of a gap opening up, but then of course Olaf closes down that gap right away. And man, what a run. Look at the start of this one. Just perfect mimicking of the lead driver from Olaf in the chase. Man, that was something right there. Oh, look at that. Almost
some crazy transitions. Crazy transitions there as well, really bumper to bumper, leaving no space. Some of them, like I've been watching, some of the transitions that these guys do just look impossible. And it looks like they're gonna crash almost every single time, but they just don't.
It just straight up bumper to bumper.
Yeah, every single time as well. Like we haven't seen anybody even hit each other during transitions, so they're just risking it, and they're perfect with it. But okay, let's see if Olaf can take it away in the lead and how Siim does in the chase. If his car doesn't let him down, nice initiation. Siim immediately also getting in the pocket. He knows where he wants to be. It looks like they must have practiced together because they perfectly know each other's driving style. Now coming to the chicane here. Still perfect from Olaf in the lead position as well, completely filling all the zones, but Siim just doesn't let off the gas, doesn't let any gap develop between them even before the last outside zone, and they fill it just side to side, door to door, across the finish line throughout the entire track. That was cool.
Yeah, great runs back to back right here by both of them. Yeah, two Estonian drivers, you know, I would guess that they have driven with each other quite a bit as well. And I mean, I feel like you can see that right here, you know, they're both trusting each other completely with these runs. And man, that was something right there. Yeah, I mean, both of these battles in the top 8 so far have been amazing. I hope we're going to be seeing this quality
there we go
continuing for the rest of it. Yeah, after that you have to do some celebratory donuts, you know. Hey,
absolutely,
you know, maybe even the battle is not over yet. Maybe it could be a one more time. Oh, there we go, another look at the replay. Yeah, just look at that. Beautiful.
Definitely don't want to be in the judges' shoes for this, because this is already some grand final level of drifting that we're seeing here from both of them.
These last two battles, you know, I mean, before, unfortunately, there was a mistake by Ahmed in the chase before, you know, but like these battles so far they are amazing. The quality of these drivers, and there's the decision right here. Slide them left for Siim, slide them right for Olaf, and it is going to be Olaf Tagakula moving on. Not a unanimous decision though, so Armans was going for Siim in that one, and yeah, there we go. That's going to be our winner for this battle right here.
Technically, it was also an upset since Siim qualified 4th and Olaf qualified 5th. So,
you're right.
At the moment, we're only having upsets in the top 8.
Well, you're right. Personally, you know, if it's that close, well, actually, wait, hold on. There was a 1 point difference between their qualifying scores.
No way.
92
1 point difference.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why these close ones I haven't really been calling upsets, because most of the time they are the same score.
Yeah, well, I guess that also explains why they're actually driving almost exactly the same.
Oh yeah. So, Ed, you can take it away for this one. I need a bit of a breather.
All right, well, we unfortunately don't see the names just yet, but I know that Juan is in the lead and Kilian is in the chase, already off the line. Kilian immediately in the doors, already Juan keeping a great lead line so far, a lot of speed, but Kilian still there in the pocket, right next to Juan's doors. Nice transition. Ooh, a lot of angle. That was a really interesting transition line that Kilian took in the chase, but that put him right on Juan's doors. Now they're coming through the last zone already, but man, I just don't even know what to say differently for these guys, because they're also doing exactly the same thing as the previous drivers were doing. They're just on each other's doors. Maybe a small gap developing here and there, but it immediately gets fixed, immediately gets rectified. It's just crazy. Yeah, this transition, I thought he was gonna go into his side because of the different line for the transition, but no. It was all planned, all calculated, perfectly done.
Yeah, I would say so far, we had very close battles, but I mean, as soon as we moved on to the top 8, this is just a whole different caliber of driving that we're seeing right here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to be going into the second run right now. Kilian Girls in the lead, Juan Jorge's in the chase, initiating right now. Big angle here on the initiation, Juan. Ooh, making maybe a little bit of contact, but managing to pull it together. And yet again, look at that transition, just right in his bumper on the chase. Yet again, here as well. So slowing it down now just a bit for that outer zone 5. A bit of a gap opening up right now, but of course going to be closing that gap right now on the last outside zone. And there it is. Great job yet again by both of the drivers finishing off the lap right now. And yeah, those transitions from Juanan, he knows exactly where the front end of that car is. Yeah, I think there was maybe a little bit of a contact, but it did not budge Kilian's car almost at all. Yeah, just look at these transitions. The Supra, the Mark V Supra has such a big hood, but he knows exactly where he has to put that car to not impede the lead driver.
Well, also one thing that I think probably should be mentioned, why everybody is so good with these cars on this track, is because VDC is one of the most popular car packs out there, and Biķernieki is one of the most popular tracks. So I know that for a fact that there are servers running this exact combination of cars and track, even outside of this competition, and Kilian gets the win. And we continue with the theme of upsets in our top 8 so far.
Yeah,
so Juan, thanks for participating. Unfortunately, getting knocked out in the top 8, even though he qualified second, unfortunately doesn't get to go in the finals or even in the top 4. But let's see you back in the next race, as we've seen you back in our previous races, as we've seen you in our previous races already. Pretty sure he's going to be back for next.
Oh yeah.
Okay, up next we're putting up Patryk Majewski from Poland going up against Lukas Palavinskas from Lithuania. So is Patryk gonna make my dream come true and take the Evo further in the competition? Let's see. Nice initiation. Ooh, some big contacts right there in outer zone 1, but Patryk is not budged by that. Lukas loses some ground now, has to play catch up. Now coming into outer zone 4 right now. Nice, perfectly timed transitions, but still a little bit of a gap between them, even now, coming into outer zone 6. Now into the last outer zone, does a little bit of a jump to close that gap at the very end, but yeah, interesting battle right there. A bit of a mistake, I think, from Lukas, overcooked it a little bit, over-angled at the beginning, then had to lose some angle, and there was definitely contact right there.
See, Ed, I was going to say that Patryk has some big shoes to fill in terms of the upsets that we've had today. But on that initiation, man, that seemed like a pretty big mistake here by Lukas. So I feel like all that Patryk has to do now in the chase is just put on a solid run, and he might just make it through. So
he still has to keep the proximity close. He cannot show us that he's doing an inactive chase, that he's sticking in the back, just you know.
But I don't think any of these drivers are going to be doing that. I don't think any of these drivers are going to be taking it safe here. Of course, we have seen these Corvettes before. A lot of speed, a lot of angle, so it might be a bit difficult to match that when you're trying to chase it. But hey, we're about to find out right now. Looks like both the drivers are ready, and we're going to be starting off the lap in just a few seconds. And there we go. 3, 2, 1, and the light goes green. Lucas in the lead, Patrick in the chase. So, going now for the initiation in outside zone 1. Big angle here from the Corvette as always, but Patrick right there into the pocket. A bit less angle, but the proximity is right there. Look at that. He is not letting up at all in terms of the proximity, letting go of the angle just a bit to stay right next to him, and man, kissing the wall with his bumper here in the chase as well. Great job here from Patrick. Lucas, though, keeping it together throughout the whole lap with a big angle. Still a bit less angle here towards the end of the lap, but a great lead run from Lucas. Look at that aggressive initiation. So yeah, as I said before, the Corvettes coming in with a huge angle, so Patrick had to adjust for that a bit, you know, with a bit less angle, but he is sacrificing that angle just so that he can have such good proximity as he did throughout pretty much the whole lap. Very well done in the chase, and yeah, I feel like that mistake from Lucas in the lead might cost him this one, so I think this might have been a top 8 of upsets.
Yeah, probably. Other than that, both runs looked fine. As you already pointed out, the only big mistake there was Lucas' mistake in the first run in the chase position. Yeah, as we're seeing exactly that right now. There was back-to-back contact and a front wheel-to-front wheel contact as well, it looked like. Now, usually that kind of contact spins you out, but I'm actually kind of surprised that it didn't affect Patrick at all. Yeah.
Now, what I am wondering is maybe if there is a chance that Patrick was slowing down a bit for too long in the lead with the Evo. You know, maybe that could have been the case as well, but I don't think he was personally. But you know, I'm just trying to consider all the possibilities here that could have happened. So,
well, if that did happen, that's something that judges can definitely see in their telemetry for their point of view, and if that leads to Lucas taking the win, then I guess we're probably going to have that explained to us, and exactly what happens. Lucas takes the win unanimously, so it would be very interesting to know what actually happened and what was the judge's decision to for this outcome. What swayed their opinion?
Yeah. So on that replay, you know, maybe that was indeed the case. So, and we're gonna have a judge joining us. Indeed. Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hello and welcome.
Hey.
Yeah. So tricky situation again on the initiation as it is in the Dkrtr. So we call the shots in this case for Lucas as the break just before the initiation line and after the initiation line from Patrick was just too big. He was staying on a shallow angle and using the brake to slow down the car, and Lucas was doing the opposite. He was on the same speed, but he was adding angle to, let's say, push himself off from the track edge. And in that case, since both drivers did initiation on a similar speed and the lead driver was on brakes, there was not much for Patrick to do already if he have already done the initiation. So yeah, we call this as a Patrick fault.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for the input. So yeah, there we go. Called it right at the end. Yeah, called it right at the end before the decision was made. And well, there we go. Yeah, that's going to be rounding out our top 4. So just a top 8 of upsets.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Actually, pretty crazy. But interesting battles. It's also cool to see sometimes the top qualifiers not completely destroying the competition. The victory is going the other way sometimes.
Definitely.
And some lower qualifying drivers stepping it up to the task and getting some wins where it counts the most. And of course, it's no small feat to get into the top 8. Means you had to win 2 battles prior to that already. So these guys know how to win. They know what they have to do to win a battle.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It looks like they even can do it versus the tightest of the competition.
Yeah, I mean, 3 of our drivers who are left were qualified in the top 10, you know, but then there's Lucas. He qualified 19th. Now, of course, that is still 83 points that he had to put on the board for that run. But, I mean, compare that, for example, to Olaf right there, who is the 5th qualifier. 91-point run is what he had in the books. Right there as well. So, of course, definitely a big gap. As you get higher in those points, it is more and more difficult to get those last inches, last few points that make up the difference up to that perfect 100.
Absolutely. Well, gonna be some crazy battles in the top 4 now. Can't wait to see the final and this, of course, as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ooh, and this is gonna be a good one right here. All right, now we're gonna be seeing a very, very good battle coming up right now. Olaf Tagakula versus Emilis Valeka going over the line already. Olaf in the lead, Emilis in the chase. I'm expecting a super aggressive chase and a very textbook lead. And look at the angle immediately right off the bat. A bit more of a gap than before in the chase from Emilis, but he cuts it down right away. Great proximity here and great transitions as well, right on the edge of the track the whole time from both of these drivers. Great job here, and look at that. Olaf just textbook lead with huge angle here from the start of the first initiation already. And yeah, just look at that amazing driving by both of these guys. Yeah, Emilis with the aggression did not manage to get right on his door from the very start like he did on the previous run, but still, you know, managed to pull it together, managed to get that proximity dialed in later on in the run. And yeah, both of these guys just amazing, a very aggressive and very good driving here.
Yeah, I also love to see the massive angle all the way throughout the track, starting already from the initiation. That was so much angle from both of them. But the angle mimic from Emilis was perfect. Even starting from the initiation as well, like he just put it exactly on the same angle as Olaf was putting up right after the initiation throughout the entire track.
Just look at the angle that Emilis is gonna have right here. So take it away, Ed.
Yeah, let's see how Emilis does in the lead and how Olaf does in the chase. Already running up, but Olaf falls back a little bit on the run up and has to play catch up now, going through outer zone 2 now. Gets a bit closer through the inside clip now, coming through the next outside zone. And ooh, looks like he washes out. We did see some dirt kicked up in the air, so it looked like Olaf went off track a little bit, but Emilis is just ripping up the track, going through it, putting up a perfect lead run now, going through the last outside zone. Olaf has caught up perfectly and right on the side, but what happened there in the middle, it definitely looked like Olaf went off with at least one wheel, because we did see the dirt kicked up in between all the smoke.
Definitely, yeah.
Here after this zone, here.
Yeah, he was trying to catch up, but then he overcooked that outside zone 3 just a bit too much right after that. And yeah, good job by the end of the run, but man, that is a pretty big mistake from him right there.
Yeah,
that might cost him the battle.
Really unfortunate, because it looked like he had it figured out. But also, I don't know what happened at the beginning there, because you definitely saw that he was late from the starting line already. He was playing catch up already before the initiation line. So that's pretty interesting, and it's a unanimous win for Emilis Valeka. Congratulations in the final. And Olaf is going to the 3rd place battle. He will still have to fight for that last remaining podium spot.
Yeah, I would say from what I've seen so far today, Emilis is looking like a favorite so far from the guys that are left in the competition. He's been driving super aggressive the whole day and putting down some amazing runs. But of course, only time will tell what will happen right now, though. We gotta focus on this battle. Kilian Gerlus versus Lukas Palavinskas. And it's gonna be Kilian in the lead, Lucas in the chase, the Mark IV leading first. Let's see what these drivers can show us right now. Initiating here, big angle there from the Corvette in the chase, a bit less from Killian in the lead, but still nice and smooth throughout the first few zones. And look at that, getting a bit closer and closer as we go through the track. A great job here from Killian, getting all the zones exactly as he should. Very nice and smooth driving, providing a very good lap for Lucas to chase, but then a bit of a gap opening up here before the last zone, and as soon as I say that, that gap is closed up right away. So a lot of angle yet again from the Corvette, a bit less from the Supra, but still both the drivers are putting down a very solid lap. Now, of course, with these top 4 battles, leaving that much of a gap right there, you know, that might honestly cost him the whole battle going into the next run. So we'll have to see if Killian will be able to put it on his door with all of the angle that he is putting down on that Corvette.
Yeah, in the top 4 you have to bring it all. You have to be right next to the other car at all times. You can't leave anything on the table. You really don't want to leave it in judges' hands. You have to make sure that you do everything for the win. But let's see, Lucas in the lead with some massive angle now. Killian immediately on the doors as well. Very similar gap, I think, from when they're switched up now transitioning over. Lucas still with some massive angle. Oh, and a wall tap there, it looked like, but some makes a gap opening up. I guess Killian did brake a little bit to avoid some contact, and now he's right on the doors. Maybe bumped even Lucas with his front wheel a little bit, as we've seen. An interesting run as well. Also some mistakes that we've seen. Uncharacteristic for this stage of the competition, I would say. Interesting.
Yeah. I think Lucas definitely tapped the wall right here. You can see his car just bounce off the wall in that spot. Might have just been the internet connection as well, but I do believe that he made contact. And yeah, in terms of the proximity, I mean, I would say for a while it was looking kind of similar, but I do think that Killian was closer in the chase, and the decision is made already. Yeah. So who is going to be moving on? And it is going to be Killian Gerlis moving on to the finals right here. Congratulations to Killian. Of course, still have that third spot to fight for Lucas. So we're going to be seeing that right now. And yeah, man, great battles so far. But here for the third spot, it is going to be Lucas versus Olaf right now. So great drivers that we have right here. Olaf has been putting down textbook runs the whole day. Unfortunately, couldn't get to the finals, but let's see if he can manage to get that podium spot for himself. Already off the line, we go Olaf in the lead, Lucas in the chase. And now let's see a big angle initiation. Yes, indeed it is. Just a bit of a gap opening up though from Lucas in the chase. Still not managing to close it out, while Olaf filling all the zones perfectly. Great angle there as well. Great line. Now slowing down just a bit, and almost making contact on that one. Lucas really playing the catch-up game right there, trying to stay aggressive in that chase, but just wavering a bit too much. And there is some more contact right there as well. Doesn't impact Olaf too much. He managed to keep the lap going, but yeah, seems like some big errors there from Lucas in the chase, while Olaf just putting down a very solid and a very textbook run, as I said before. So yeah, you can see up until now there was a bit of a gap, but here Lucas tries to go super aggressive, makes contact right there, transitioning, almost making contact here as well, and then in the last outside zone right now, just a bit too far, hits his front wheel. If that was a real car right there, the front wheel on front wheel, that might have ended the whole run right there, but they managed to finish it, and we are going to be going on to the second run right now.
Yeah, that outer zone number 5 is really tricky when it comes to tandems because we have our one and only diesel zone right before it, so that can mess with someone's mind if you don't do exactly as the other driver. But let's see, Lucas in the lead with some massive angle right off the bat, but Olaf immediately on his door doesn't put up the same angle immediately, but now manages to mimic it further down the track. Outer zone 4 now coming up to outer zone 5 and massive from Lucas
back
there.
To pits.
He immediately pitted, yeah.
Yeah, he knows what he did on that one. That is unfortunate.
Well, if you tap the wall, don't press back to pits immediately. Let the contact, because the judges
look at this. Look at this. This one was he straightened out. He was done. He was done. Unfortunately, that one. It's unfortunate, but it's pretty clear. Yeah, there it is. Olaf Tagakula is going to be taking the third place. So congratulations, Olaf. Great runs from him the whole day. Some amazing lead runs, very solid chases as well. And now we are going to be moving on to the finals.
Yeah, congratulations to Olaf from me as well. Great job in this race. Getting that far is no small feat, qualifying 5th as well. It's pretty crazy. That was a 90+ run at that. But now it's time to find out who is the actual winner of today's race. We're going to have Kilian Guerlos from France in the lead from Team Doorbreakers, going up against Emilis Valeika from Team RTW from Lithuania in the chase position as they already go. Some Toyota versus BMW action. Kilian in the lead with some massive flick initiation. Emilis immediately on his doors and transitioning over to the next line. They're going really fast. Look at the proximity from Emilis there, right on the doors. Still keeping on the run. Doesn't let off. Now coming through outer zone 5 right now. Kilian still putting up a really good lead run right there. Emilis really close. Gap developing before the last outside zone, but immediately reels him back in and across the finish line, door to door. Nice first run. No crashes, no contact whatsoever. That's what we like to see in the final. A clean run. Let's hope the second one is going to be the same. I really liked the aggression from both of the drivers. They brought their A game to the final run, one at least.
Yeah, Emilis seems to be putting down the same type of run the whole day, so I cannot wait to see what we're gonna have for this next one. That initiation that he has, it's just so aggressive with so much angle. So let's see if if Kilian will be able to follow that up as well. All right, and here we go for the last one right now. Emilis in the lead, Kilian in the chase, and he's going to be initiating with huge angle, but there's going to be contact made. And oh no. Let's see what is going to be the decision on this one.
The roll, man. He just couldn't stop.
Yeah. The physics of these cars. So okay, let's see what happened here. And yeah, seems like Emilis initiates and Kilian just maybe doesn't snap to angle as much. I don't think Emilis slowed down really that much on that one.
I mean, it would be hard to notice, and it would be minimal, but might be that Kilian didn't have enough angles. He had a lot of speed, but whose fault is at that point? It's really hard to tell.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate.
Motion.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seems like by the way, the names here haven't flipped. Either way, to me, it seems like Kilian just kind of plowed into the side. To be honest, maybe he was a bit late on the initiation, and looks like we're gonna have our winner for this one already. It is decided. So slide on left for Emilis, or right for Kilian, and it is Emilis Valeika who is going to be winning this DKRTR off-season round. So congratulations to you, Emilis Valeika. Of course, Kilian, congratulations on the second place as well. And there we go. There is our bracket. So
yeah, definitely not the way you want to see the race end. Not the way you want to see final go. What you want to see is two clean runs from both drivers, but it is what it is. We have Emilis taking the win. Congratulations again. And Kilian taking the second place, bringing the second place silver trophy back to France. Well, at least if not the Latvian winner, we got a Baltic States winner.
That is true. That is true.
Back home to Lithuania. Also, once again, congrats to Olaf for third place, and glad to see so many drivers in participation of this off-season race to begin with. We had, 75 drivers running in yesterday's qualifying. That is quite a lot. Usually we limit it to 100, but we never hit 100. But this time we got really close. So if you want to participate in the next races, keep your eye peeled in the Discord. The Discord invite link is in the description of this stream. Also, visit all the socials and on this same YouTube channel. Keep an eye out for next episodes of Racing Team Riga's Sim to Real Life Drift Challenge. As we see the drivers on the podium right now taking a screenshot. Olaf popping the trunk, getting the champagne out.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining. Of course, thanks Ed for joining in for the last part of the tandems as well. I really needed the help, honestly. Commentating solo is very tough for multiple hours. It's my first time trying to commentate solo, so it was a fun experience. But thanks to you as well for joining in. And man, this was what a competition right here. It was very fun. So there we go. Once again, we have the bracket right there. You can see our sponsors at the bottom. And thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you to all the, of course, organizers, the judges, and all the viewers here who showed up, who participated. Any last words, Ed?
It's been a fun time. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining me as well here, because I definitely couldn't do it alone as well. If I was in that situation, it would be pretty hard. I jumped on as soon as I could today. Recovering, still got ill yesterday somehow, but it is what it is. Jump on the servers as well if you want to get some tandems yourself. Pretty sure that these servers are going to stay in the current configuration for quite a while right now. So get some tandems in on the track with the same cars. Put yourself in the shoes of the drivers that you've been watching all day today, and maybe see you in our next competition.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna wrap it up from us here. Once again, thank you everybody for joining, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Peace.
Bye.